Sal in the building. What's happening with you today, brother? Shadow Wheezy in the building. What's happening with you today? My man Jim in the building. What's happening with you today?
Than you.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian. You are now listening to TSLK Radio, the hottest retainer in the game.
Activate the Shave Line King.
You are now listening to B-Town Beats. beats.
You are now listening to TSLK.
This day, to this day, to this day.
Yoga fire! You are now listening to B-Town Beats. Ultra Combo! You are now listening to B-Town Beats.
Yo, what up, fellas? What up, fellas? How's everybody doing today, man? I hope everybody is doing well. It's your main man, bro, your captain, back in the building one more again, the Shave Line King. And today, man, we're going to be talking about semen retention, bro, and the importance of your diet, man. This is why so many people out here be struggling on their retention journey, bro. This is what's keeping y'all from activating your power. I want you to understand this, man. This is literally what's keeping most of y'all from activating your power. And the funniest thing that I find, bro, is so many people out here think that they know it all. This is, man, look, bro. So many people out here think that they know it all. So many people think they know what they're doing. So many people think that they're going to follow their own advice and they're going to be able to tap into this and tap into that. And the funniest thing that I've been watching, bro, as I look amongst the community is nobody's out there is activating. Nobody's out there has reached a higher self. All these people still have all these imperfections, man, that just stand out so loudly. You know, every time I go through the semen retention community, bro, and I check new videos and I check what people are talking about, everybody's still stuck in the same thing, man. Everybody's still talking about the same stuff. Everybody's still thinking it's about lifting weights and muscles and eating protein. Everybody's always thinking that they know what is going on, man. And this is how I know that they have not found the truth of this practice yet. And then I just have to go and look at how long they've been practicing. And again, this is no, slap in the face to anybody. This is just the truth, man. Okay, it is just the truth. And the sooner you guys wake up, the sooner your journey is going to turn completely different and be much better for you in the end, okay? Because semen retention is not about any of those things. And I get tired of seeing people, bro, flexing their muscles. I get tired of people talking about they still eating dead carcasses all the time. I'm getting tired of people, bro, who think, it's all about testosterone and being a meathead, bro. Listen, retention has nothing to do with that, man. And if that's what you're looking for, bro, you're in the wrong practice, man. You need to go practice weightlifting. You need to go practice bodybuilding. You need to go practice, stuff like that. Because retention, this is not what this is about, bro. This is unlocking your mind. And none of those things that you guys are talking about has anything to do with unlocking your mind. Okay. All that stuff is ego based. This is how I know you're not where you think you are. You can argue with your screen all you want. You're not there yet. And I've been trying to tell you guys what this practice is. Why? Because I am one of the longest standing ones in the community, still making retention content to this day, have gone the longest, and I think I know exactly what is going on, okay? And I'm trying to help y'all see what I see, Okay, because once you go a certain amount of days, bro, like I told you, everything always changes. Your whole mindset will change the longer you go. So, how are you going to sit up here and argue with someone, man, and you've only gone 6 months? How are you going to sit up here and argue with somebody, bro, and you've only gone 9 months? How are you going to sit up here and argue with somebody and you've only gone a year? Bro, that is a drop in the bucket, okay, to what real retainers in the real world are doing and what they have gone through and what they've experienced and what they have put together as a curriculum for people to follow so you don't ever fall off of your journey. This is why so many people struggle. This is why so many people lack discipline because they don't understand these little small nuances that you have to understand in order to be able to become stable in your journey, bro. Go long distances and actually expand your consciousness, that which means expanding your way of thinking and not having this little cage, bro, over your head thinking that you have found it all. Your cup is full and you're on 6 months of retention, bro. You guys need to stop it, bro. That's embarrassing, man. You're embarrassing yourself coming on the internet talking about you mastered this and you mastered that, bro, and you haven't gone no kind of years. You haven't had no unbroken streak for no kind of years. Okay, you've done what everybody else has done. You come in for 3 months, you quit. You come in for 6 months, you get a girlfriend, you quit. You come back 8 months later, and now all of a sudden it's you mastered retention. Okay, you come back and you get a little streak going again. Now you're on 9 months. Now you think you've mastered retention, bro. Please sit down. Please sit down, man. Okay. This is not what this is about. Like I said, if that is you, you're in the wrong practice, man. Okay. Because you're going to have a ugly future coming, man, thinking that okay, and one of those people that continue to run their head into the ground, bro, and you'll never get it. And you'll wonder why you always struggle, and you'll wonder why you still have these imperfections. You'll wonder why you don't still have people listening to you, because they can see and they can hear. Okay, they can know your views, who you mastered. Tell you, diet is the to discipline and going into solitude is the single-handedly one of the most important things that you need to do on your journey. Okay, and I'm going to explain some of these things why today. I'm going to play a couple of video clips of some things of people who I found actually in the community who unfortunately do not make content anymore, but they've left some gems for us to be able to overview and understand on how important diet is to what it is that you're doing. Again, this is an enlightenment practice, okay? Enlightenment practice, all right? When you go around the world and you go look at true yogis, you go look at true shamans, you go look at true people who actually hold that title of enlightenment, guess what? They're not flexing their muscles. They're not talking about lifting weights all the time, okay? They're not eating dead carcasses, okay? So where do you think it is that you're at in your journey if you sitting here bumping your head up against a wall, still doing these things, man, and you don't understand that those are holding you back? When is it that you're going to learn? Is it you're going to have to go another year and a half before you figure this out? Or are you going to listen to somebody who's already here? Are you going to listen to somebody who's already gone through everything that you've gone through? I've already lapped many of people probably 5 or 6 times on my current streak, bro. And even back on the times when I first did retention, I learned all of that in my first retention streak, okay? I learned exactly what you're supposed to be doing, all right? And I learned that when I put these things into practice, they greatly change my outlook on life. Okay, my whole opinions changed. I told you, from 3 months they changed to 6 months it changed to 9 months it changed to 1 year it changed. My views on the world completely changed. And again, if you truly have given yourself over to this practice, meaning that you don't have any blockages, which most of you have blockages. Again, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I want you to put down your ego and see what I'm telling you. You have blockages, man. If you think that you can still eat what you want to eat, you have blockages, man. If you think that retention is about lifting weights and being strong, that is the furthest from the truth, man. All right. You are taking and making your own opinion of what you think this practice is. And these are the people I'm trying to tell you, man. You got to be careful of listening and following these people, man, because they're going to lead you down the wrong road. Okay. This is not that type of practice. This is an enlightenment type of practice. This is unlocking your brain. This is becoming your highest version. We call it using your mind. Your mind is your muscle, not your body. Okay, your mind is your muscle. Your brain is your muscle. This is what this is about. We're building that muscle. We're not building the physical body muscle, all right? This is how I know, okay? I can look, and then I just hear what people talk about, and I hear what they're still putting inside of their temple, and they don't understand that their temple is literally the temple of God, okay? The Most High resides within your temple, and you're putting death inside your temple. Now, there's some nuances that I want you to know and I want you to understand, because we do live in HE double hockey stick. And for some of you vegans, vegetarians, and plant-based guys out there, you're going to have to take a seat too. Okay, you're going to have to take a seat too, and you're going to have to listen to what I'm telling you, okay, because it is very important. All right, it is very important. You're not excluded from this conversation. Okay, there are some things that you must understand. There are some views that you must understand, so you don't provide negative judgment upon people, bro, who have not gotten to the level of what I'm trying to teach you guys to get through, because you must understand we are living in HE double hockey stick. So what does that mean, man? That probably means, man, that we're going to have to do things still in order to get ourselves to the version that is going to make our bodies be able to be strong enough to be able to house and transmute this energy that we are about to come into on retention. Okay. And yes, the diet has a tremendous amount to do with that. So let me tell you what I have been doing. Let me tell you what I shouldn't say currently, because I'm not even going to sit here and blow smoke up on nobody. I'm going to keep it 1,000 on this channel, bro. Okay. I've graduated past all that stuff that I see you guys are stuck in. I'm long graduated from that, bro. I was doing things, man, way ahead of my time, okay? And I have been telling you guys, and a lot of you guys have been looking at me and judging me, and guess what? Look where I'm at now. I am a true teacher, bro. I'm a true leader, bro. I have unlocked my brain, bro. I'm in the highest consciousness possible, man. Okay. And I know what it is. Okay. And people are going to listen and follow what I say, bro, because what I'm saying is the absolute truth, and it hits them so deep and it resonates with them on a totally different level, that they know that I'm telling the absolute truth, even though they might not be able to do the things that I'm saying. Okay. So what did I do to take my retention journey to another level? I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. And if you are not doing these things, then guess what? You're not there yet, bro. Okay. If you're doing anything that I have said, going against anything that I said, you're not there yet. You can get mad all you want. You could try to call me a hater all you want. You are not there yet. Okay. What I told you retention is an enlightenment journey. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you're going to be doing the things to the highest level. Okay. You're going to be taking the highest spiritual path that there is down here in this world. And the highest spiritual path requires what? Having the mind of God, to understand that if you were God incarnated in your vessel, how would you be acting? How would you be interacting in this world? Understanding that you are the creator of all things. Okay, because I said God is within your temple, and you would discover this if you had been going on retention the right way, because then God would really speak to you. But God ain't speaking to nobody. God ain't speaking to none of y'all. You know how I know? Because y'all are still reading the Bible. No disrespect, bro. No disrespect. You're still outsourcing your information instead of tapping into the information highway that I told you, that is infinite intelligence all around you. Okay, the ethers, the downloads. from God. Instead of doing that, man, you're still going third-party information, okay? You're still trying to find ways to make excuses for the things that you're doing in your life based off of an outdated book, okay? That's how I know y'all are not where you're supposed to be, okay? Things that I have done, I didn't need a book. I didn't need to read anything, because I told you, you're the all-knowing, and you would know this if you tapped into it. You're the all-knowing. All of you guys out there, all of y'all with souls, all of y'all are out there are tapped into this, what I call the information highway, bro, but you have been disconnected, okay? Your silver cord has been disconnected because of you were cut off from the higher source, because you fell off of what you were truly supposed to be doing. You're not going the highest path. And I told you, this is the highest path journey. And if you don't want the highest path, then simply get off of retention, go talk about something else. But you're not going to come here and try to create your own way and your own process on a practice that only has one way to be able to get to the source, okay? And it's laid out pretty clear. If you go find these masters, these so-called masters that are around the world, the yogis, the shamans, the people that I've told you, until you go find these so-called masters and you ask them really what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and this is what I'm here for. I'm supplementing for them because I'm a real one here in the United States, a rare one that is on the internet, that is on YouTube, that is giving you the right information, bro, that you need to hear. But again, so much ego out there, so much haters out there, so much low vibrational energy out there that most of you guys are going to miss the message, and you're going to continue, like I said, to fail over and over and over again, and you're going to wonder why you've fallen into these struggles. Well, here it is that I'm doing. I'm telling you what your problem is, okay? First and foremost, man, okay, I told you, retention is not about lifting weights. Retention is not about eating a whole bunch of food. Retention is not about the ego, okay? You can say you're not doing those things all you want, but I can know that just by hearing what you're talking about. I know that, but by hearing what you're defensive about when someone tries to bring you the truth, that proves that you have not elevated to the level. That proves that you still have these blockages, these spiritual blockages, and that's because of the things that you're consuming. That is the number one culprit on how energy is blocked, okay, by things that you are putting inside of your temple of God, okay? And we don't put death inside of our temple of God. I don't care what excuse that you have out there, but there is some nuances, and I'm going to get to that. But understand that is not the duration and the longevity of life that we are supposed to be on. We are supposed to get to a certain level where we're healthy enough to understand that we don't have to eat a certain way in order to thrive and live. And that is the mind of God. That is the highest road. If you're doing any other thing than that, you're still ego-based. You still have blockages, and you still don't understand what this journey fully entails, okay? So let me tell you what I did, okay? I went to, like I said, the highest path that there is in this world. And what did I do? I started fasting majority of my days, okay? That means even to this day, I'm not on this journey anymore because I've put on a little bit more size. I put on a little bit more weight based off of my living conditions and not having the resources that I once had, not having the time that I once had to be able to continue to stay on that highest path. But it doesn't mean that I have swayed from that. It just means that I had to adjust in this timeline that I'm in right now in order to get myself back to that space, but I haven't fallen off. But what I've done is I had to change my diet, but I didn't change it in a negative way, and I'm going to get to that. So what I did is the first time I did this, when I very first tapped in to my highest self, and I'm telling you, I was super on point, and I'm still on point, but I'm telling you, I was super tapped in during this time, is when I was doing more fasting than eating, okay? I was fasting majority of my days, you guys, okay? I kid you not. You can go look back in my videos a year and a half, and you will see a totally different size character. I had people that were coming on here that were poking fun at me and saying I'm too skinny and this and this and that. And yet these, slow people didn't understand on what I was doing. I'm on retention, fool. I'm on the highest path in life, okay? That doesn't mean I'm going to be a person out here that has a whole bunch of heavy matter on them. Matter works against the body. There's no way you should be wanting to walk around heavy. Again, that is brainwashing from the third dimensional realm of this world. Okay, that is the brainwashing that they got us under, the body image disorder. Okay, that this is not what this is about. You should be above the judgment, okay, when you are on retention, because you understand what you're really doing this for. You're doing this for not only yourself, but you're doing this for the consciousness of humanity. You're the one leading the way, showing people that there is a different way that you can go in order to get what it is that you want out of life. And I told you, this is the highest path. This is why they come after you, okay? This is why your life completely changes. It seems like the world turns against you, because you must understand we live in hell. I've said it before. We live in hell. You guys must understand that. This is where we live. So anytime that you are creating extreme amount of light, the darkness is going to attack you, okay? And that could be with the negative comments and getting you to think that just because you're losing some weight, which weight is insignificant, it doesn't even matter, but you're so brainwashed about what other people think about you that you fall back into the trick. You fall back into the paradigm of being heavy and weighed down with matter, when at the end of this whole thing, when you want to transmute and you want to leave this body, it is important for you to be light as a feather. It is important for your heart to be light as a feather. This is the thing that so many of you people out there are missing out on. Okay, I want you to understand that. So many of you guys, this is what you're missing out on, man. And you're going to miss the boat, bro. Okay, you're going to miss this ascension, man. Okay, you're going to miss being able to activate during this first wave, man, because of all of these different things that you're so concerned with that don't even matter, bro. You shouldn't give a damn what no one thinks about you. You should only give a damn what your creator thinks about you, man. You shouldn't care what nobody else's opinion is, man. Who cares if they think you're underweight? Who cares if they think you're not this and not that? Let me tell you something. You're going to live longer than these people. You're going to be happier than these people. Your mind's going to work better than these people. You're going to be sharper than these people. There is nothing no one can tell me as far as the choices that I have made in my life, because I've already seen the benefits from that, man. And I've already seen on how I've leveled up 100 times over regular people. Okay. So like I said, fasting was the most important thing that I did. Okay. Hands down. I hardly ate. Okay. I fasted. And you must understand something. There's this thing called human growth hormone that transpires in your body when you're fasting, okay? This is where your body starts to repair itself. This is where your body starts to, any injuries, any misalignments that you have had, okay, suddenly disappear. You add that with semen retention, bro, with the rebuilding of the body and all of the stem cells that you get inside of your body, man, and now you've become a brand new person. You became brand new again, okay? I'm telling you the truth, bro. I feel like if you go look at any of my stuff, man, 46-year-old man, bro, I look like I'm freaking 17, 18 years old. And again, this is the whole point of this. It is the fountain of youth. This is the whole point of this. The whole point of this is to go back to 0 point, the reset, the great rebirth. This is what this is about, bro. But you are not doing that when you're concerned about what people are doing in the 3D. You're worried about what you look like. You're worried about the size of your muscles. Again, all of this stuff, man, that is feeding the ego, that keeps you bound to this third dimensional realm and the concept of you needed to be able to consume and overeat and put things in your body that don't belong. Okay, I want you guys to understand that this is not what this is about. So if you think that this is what this is about, then I show you the door and I ask you to go try something else, because you're going to be in for a big disappointment that you put in all of this work and all of this effort and you're not going to activate the way that you think that you're going to activate. I'm telling you the truth, man. You guys need to listen. Okay. So as I said, I fasted majority of my time and I was retaining my seed. Okay, so my body was healing, my brain was getting fed. Okay, I was totally transformed when I was doing this. The very next thing that I did is I only ate 1 meal a day. Do you understand that? I only ate one meal a day. And I still kind of do that today, but it's like I said, it's changed a little bit based on the circumstances that I'm in, and I'm going to get to that. Okay. So I only ate one meal a day, bro. So I was fasting majority of parts of my days. Okay. I'm retaining my seed, full brahmacharya. Okay. Straight brahmacharya, bro. I'm talking about consistent. Okay. I'm talking about unbroken. I'm talking about really having my seed be rejuvenated through my body and going to my highest purpose, man. Okay. And I was eating one meal a day, bro. The healthiest I've ever been in my life. Okay. The best looking, the most attractive that I've ever been in my whole entire life, man. Okay. I put this on my life, bro. The best looking, the most attractive, the most sharp, the most healthiest I've ever been in my life. Why? All of those things, man, are working on my body. All of those things are rejuvenating me. All of those things, man, are making sure that my body has to work as less as possible in order to stay healthy and maintain. And this is the whole point of it, because again, it's an enlightenment practice. You want to be light as a feather. You want to have your body pure. You're doing a pure practice. You need to understand this, okay? It's a purity practice. And if you're not doing that, man, you're not going to get to the highest level. So why are you practicing it? Why are you putting in all this discipline? Why are you putting in all this effort, bro? If you're still doing things, man, they're going to keep holding you back. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Again, and that shows me that you have blockages, because this should be easiest day to see what you should be doing in order to unlock your mind to get to the highest level. And then if you decide to fall off once you've got there, and you think you've gained enough knowledge and wisdom and you have enough energy, and you think you want to go back to the things that you used to do on the 3D, that by all means, go ahead and do that. But I promise you, bro, you will not once you get to this level, okay? You will not. You will be able to see the matrix for what it is, and you will understand everything that you have learned on your journey, and you will regret to go back to that version of yourself. I am telling you, okay? And as I said, the healthiest that I've ever been in my life. Now, what am I doing today that's so much different? Okay, again, I've had multiple different things happen to me out of the blue. Okay, like I said, I got all of a sudden put on this watch list because I became one of the most intelligent men walking around on this planet, because I'm able to, pull from this divine ethers of downloads, bro. And I'm able to talk about anything, bro. They know this. This is the whole reason why they try to block you on your retention journey, bro, because you become a threat. You become a literally Christ-like being, bro. Okay, you have healing powers, man. You have the ability to go out and captivate crowds. Okay, you have the ability to go out and mask followers. Okay, that makes you a threat in this world. Okay, I'll give you a small example, and it's not the greatest example, but I just want to show you this as proof. Okay, look what happened to Rashad Jamal. Okay, he was arrested and put on a watch list because he had like 200,000 followers on YouTube, and they basically accused him from being a cult. When the truth is, these occults are the ones that are running the society. Okay, isn't that funny that this is how they do it? Okay, so this is why you become a threat, because you have the ability and the potential to be able to go out in this world and cause massive change. Okay, your frequency, the tone of your voice, okay, the things that resonate from you have the ability to bring people to you, okay, which makes you a threat. All of the Christ beings had this. Buddha, Krishna, okay, Christ, all of these people did this process to the point where they had this ability to go out and do that. And I want you to understand that none of these people that you guys so look up to practice the diets that we are practicing in our modern day times. They do not eat the foods that we are eating in our modern day times. All the literature out there has been rewritten, okay, has been tampered with to get you to believe that these people did otherwise. And I'm here to tell you, bro, you would know this if you had gone on the journey and you had chose the highest route and you have seen the truth on your own, okay? you would know this, okay, that it's not true, okay? All of those are lies. None of those people ate dead flesh. They never had to. They were living during a time, man, where the food and the stuff that we are eating today has not been tampered with, okay? We live in a time today where everything is hybridized. We live in a time today where most of the stuff is not even grown from seed anymore. Most of the stuff is laboratory. Okay, this is why we have so many deficiencies. This is why we have so many imbalances. This is why people are scared to put down the toxic meat, okay, is because they don't believe that, you know, they're going to be able to stay healthy. They're going to believe that they're not going to be able to stay strong, and all that stuff is a lie. There's plenty of different things that you can do, but you just haven't done enough digging. You've let these people continue to use that narrative to push you away, man, from what is truly possible in this life. Again, which proves to me that you haven't gone very far. Okay, you haven't. You have too many blockages because you don't have the courage to understand, man, that you have everything that you need, especially when you're retaining your seed, bro. Okay, especially if you're retaining it to the highest level and you're fasting and you're doing all these things. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna create the human growth hormone, man, and your body's gonna completely change. Okay, I am strong. I am fit. I am healthy. Okay, I am at a point in my life, man, where I'm stronger than guys that are 2 times my size. And yet people think that that's not enough. People think that that's not enough because, again, you're following for the constructs of the matrix. Everybody's on steroids. Everybody's taking some sort of supplementation. Everybody's out there on the SARMs, the creatines, the proteins, the unnatural diets, all the things that cause death and sickness and illness in the body, again, contributing to multiple diseases, which didn't do what? That push you away from the light body, that push you away from the highest path in this life. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You need to understand, and you need to snap out of it and understand that this has been that construct of the matrix. This is the matrix getting in your head and making you think otherwise, okay? When I've sat here and told you that not only myself, okay, which is you should be swallowing this up full go, bro, because I'm right in your face with the information, but yet you still want to go dig in some possibly tampered literature and hear our Christ beings say the same thing that I'm saying, okay? Which is blasphemy, bro, because it doesn't make any sense that you want to have to go find some old information, man, that, like I said, has possibly been tampered with. Who knows what the literature has gone through over all these different centuries and generations, man, of being rewritten and being tampered with. And yet you still want to go look back there when you can look at someone right now in the modern time in your face who's doing the exact same thing to the exact same level. These people were no different than me. These people were no different than you. But yet you want to worship and idolize these people as if they didn't tell you that they were not supposed to be worshiped and idolized. They told you that we were going to do the exact same works as them and even greater. But yet you don't want to listen to someone that is in the leadership position because obviously you have some blockages. Obviously you're jealous because it ain't you. And this is why you're trying to go on your own journey and trying to figure out things on your own. And you're bumping your head and you're looking like a damn fool because you are the one that are not taking the message, bro, when the messenger is in your face. Okay. Your time will come when you do the right thing. This is why I encourage all you guys to keep going because you eventually will find the answer. And then you will have your own classroom. You will have your own knowledge. You will have your own information highway to tap into, and you will be able to spread the exact same message. But until then, you are cut off because you do not understand on what you're supposed to be doing. And I've been trying to tell you since day one. Now, let's go back to this diet really quickly because I really want you to understand on how we are living in hell and there's certain things that the body has to have. And this is going to, irritate some people who are not in the understanding. And I'm warning you right now, all you vegetarians, all you vegans out there, you need to listen, man, because this is the truth and this is important and this is something you need to learn and understand. And if you don't, okay, you're going to be a victim, okay? If you're going to be a victim, if your health ever fails, you're going to be a victim, okay? You better be happy that you have a strong immune system and you haven't had any problems on your health journey from being a vegetarian or a vegan. I need to explain some things to you that is very important, because these people are manipulating the foods so people think that they have to not eat that diet in order to survive. But you must understand, there is some things that have changed. There are some nuances that I'm going to explain that you must understand about the human diet and the body, man. It's very important. Okay. So first and foremost, man, like I said, you shouldn't be eating meat, okay? You shouldn't be doing it, guys. I'm telling you the truth, man, okay? You can ignore me all you want. Keep ignoring me, bro. You're the one who's going to feel bad in the end. I'm telling you, you're going to feel bad. You're wasting so much time trying to figure out different ways that you could go around this, man, and all that time, you're never going to get back, man, okay? You're never going to get to where you think you want to get. You're not going to sin, and maybe it's not for you. And again, I told you, there's the door. Get out of retention, because retention isn't for you, okay? Retention is for those people, bro, who are choosing the highest path. And if you're not choosing the highest path, man, then this isn't for you. And you must understand, you can't just take it and mix and match and do whatever you want and think it's going to work, because it doesn't work like that, okay? It honestly doesn't work like that. So here's what I want you to understand about this diet that is super important in 2026, okay? First and foremost, okay, the way that they have done, the things that they've done with the vegan food, the things that they have done with the vegetarian food, the things that they have done with the plant-based food, I told you, based off of how everything is hybridized, how the soil has been depleted of the rich minerals and nutrients, okay? Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the full spectrum of beneficial nutrients and minerals from the foods that we once used to have many years ago, okay? So what that's going to do is that is honestly going to cause some people to look malnourished. That is going to cause some people to look sick. That is going to cause some people to look thin. And you must understand this is just the facts, okay? This is me not pointing no fingers. This, okay, because I eat a plant-based diet, but there are so many things that I had to change in order to make sure that this diet is going to work and not take me out. And this is why I want you guys to understand, if you've fallen into the sick body of being on vegan and vegetarian, okay, I'm going to explain some things for you that you might not know that is the truth. And I don't want you to come up here and argue, because you're going to be wrong. I'm telling you what is going on, okay? So we have to eat, okay? When you're let's say this, when you are going on a vegan and vegetarian diet, let's say you're someone who has now gone off of eating animal foods, okay? You've gone off of eating the meats, the porks, okay? Whatever other meat, the beefs, okay? And you are now trying to go to a vegan diet. Let me tell you what is happening during this transformation, okay? First and foremost, you have these things that are in your gut, okay, that are called microbiome, okay, your good and your bad bacteria. You must understand this. This is the truth, okay? You have this good and bad bacteria in your gut, okay? And when you are going from eating animal foods to eating a vegetarian or vegan diet, you must understand there's some things that are going to happen, okay? You have a balance of what we call good gut bacteria, and you have a balance of what we call bad gut bacteria. Now, we look at the word bad gut bacteria as something harmful, and I want you to understand something. It's not harmful, okay? There's this thing called a balance. I know you guys have heard this before. We talk about it in our diets. We have to have a balanced diet, and this is where this comes into play. You have to have a balanced diet, but I must explain to you, okay, the difference, okay? Because we do live in HE double hockey stick. That means that we have to eat for the body. We don't have to eat for necessarily the spirit. We have to eat for the body in order to survive and get our bodies to a point where it's healthy enough that we can come off of those foods. Okay, I want you to understand this. Okay, so you have this good gut bacteria and you have this bad gut bacteria. All right, you have to have a certain amount of bad gut bacteria in order to thrive and be healthy. Let me tell you what happens the minute one or the other gets unbalanced. The minute one or the other gets unbalanced, you have your body now attacking you. Okay, this is the truth. Okay. I can provide so much information for you. I can bring so many homeopathic. I can bring so many ex-vegans and vegetarians. I can bring so many people up here, bro, that will back the exact words, doctors, you name it. I can bring them all up here and they will tell you the truth, bro. This is the truth, okay? Because of what is going on in this world, you have to understand that there has to be a balance there, okay? And this doesn't mean that you have to be a person that just always eats animal meat. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm trying to get you to understand is the importance of having this balance there, because the minute this balance is disturbed, that bad bacteria is going to start fighting your immune system, and this is where you're going to lose your life as someone who is trying to do the right thing in life, who is trying to go the highest path. Okay, so what you have to do, okay, you have to make sure that when you come off of eating those foods that you're a very healthy person, okay? You have a good amount of good bacteria, you have a good amount of good bad bacteria as well, okay, in your body, where you're not someone who gets sick very easily. You have a strong immune system, okay? All of these things are important factors. If you're anybody that is anemic or have any other problems like that, okay, before you jump into this diet, I want you to understand, man, there's some things that you have to work out. There's some things that you're going to have to go and get checked out, because again, this can put you in a deathbed real early if you make this move too prematurely based off of what I've just told you is going on with the food down here. Okay, so what you have to understand is a very thin balance here, man, that you have to maintain, okay, in order until your body gets to a certain strength, until you get resilient enough, until you have enough of these good and bad bacteria in your gut where you can slowly wean off of those foods, okay, because again, yes, this is about becoming your best version. This is about becoming and going on the highest path. This is about becoming pure and clean within your temple. But like I said, the Matrix has fixed this, so it's going to be problematic if you don't understand what is going on. And all I'm trying to do is to get you guys to understand the thought process that you're going to have to go through before you start to make these moves full go, okay? So you must understand there's going to still be some times here where you need some of these foods, okay? Now, I'm not sitting here saying you need to be eating the animals, okay? There's other ways to do it. There's animal products, okay? There's probiotics, okay? There's different things that you can do, okay? What I was told by someone in a very high position who I would leave my life in their hands, because these people are way more intelligent than me when it comes down to knowing the body, is that you want to have a balance of this. You want to take what you need, okay? Again, listen to my words carefully. I'm not promoting eating these foods. I'm just telling you on what it is. You have to take what you need, okay? No more, okay? That means not overeating. That means not indulging in the foods. That means not partaking in all the gluttony, okay, that is taking place here in this world, because that's going to lead you to where? That's going to lead you to the underworld. That's going to lead you to being low vibrational. That's going to lead you to not being able to ascend, okay? Because again, this is a spiritual thing. You must understand this, but there is going to be a leeway there of understanding, okay, on a place that we reside in order to keep ourselves healthy and survive, to be able to endure what we're doing down here on this planet, okay? And the balance is very carefully, put out there. So what you need to understand is, like I told you, there's a balance there, okay? Take what you need, okay? That doesn't mean you go out 4 or 5 times a week and you're indulging in eating these animals, okay? That is wrong, okay? That doesn't mean you go out there and, you go to the grocery store and you stock your refrigerator up, with dead body parts, for the next few months. That's not what this means. What this means is it means take what you need. Again, further proven to you that you still have blockages and not understanding on what this thing in this life is all about. This life is not about indulging and eating the creation, okay? Again, this is the highest path. This is what you chose when you came on retention. So you must understand that this is what it is, partner. Okay, and I told you, if it's not for you, then hey, man, there's the door, okay? You go do what you want to do, okay? And let's see how far you get, okay? I guarantee you, you're going to fall into illness. I guarantee you're going to fall into low vibrational frequency. I guarantee you're not going to unlock. You're not going to activate the way you think that you are. Okay. I guarantee it. Okay. So what I'm trying to show you guys, I'm trying to show you that you can still do this. Okay. We don't recommend you to do this. Okay. We recommend that if you already have a strong body built up, you already have a strong immune system, then you need to be one of these people who are out here finding different ways to get the things that you need without contributing and adding to the death and the genocide of animals on this planet. Okay. That's the truth. Okay. So when I tell you, you take what you need, this is what I mean. You take what you need. Okay. That means you should be only eating small portions of this anyway. Okay. You should be having, you know, I can't tell you exactly how many ounces of it that you should be eating, but you should only have a very small portion of that on your plate. Okay. Instead of doing what we're doing in the modern day times where that is the majority portions on our plate. Okay. And on top of that, eating all of the processed foods, okay, eating all of the fried foods, all of these different things, okay, are destroying your microgut biome, okay? All of these different things are going to cause you some cognitive degenerate diseases. And I'm going to read the literature on that in a second. Just bear with me, okay? I'm trying to tell you guys on what it is. I'm trying to help you to understand on where we live, okay, and what our objective is to do if you're truly trying to go this high path in life. And we should, because we're in the golden age. We're in the time where each and every single one of us are feeling the energy change. We want to change in our world. And you must understand, in order to change the things in the outside world, you first got to change yourself, okay? We can't continue to go on these things that we were taught, man, okay? Because everything that we have taught has been a lie. And everything that we have been shown has been manipulated to keep us a certain way and keep us at a certain frequency, okay? So you must understand when I tell you that there's a balance, man, and you need to be eating as such. And if you have a strong enough body, then you need to get off of it. Okay, you need to go find other ways. Okay, you're intelligent enough to be able to go dig and find and understand that we don't have to eat that way anymore. Okay, the way that you're eating is of a lower vibration. The way that you're eating is of a lower intelligent level. Okay, you're eating at a lower intelligent level. Okay, you need to be eating for your future. You need to be eating, bro, for your astral body. You need to be eating, bro, for your ascension. You need to be eating, man, to make a change in this world. This is what we're trying to do. We're leaving this old paradigm behind. All the things that we were taught, man, we're leaving that behind, man. Okay. And like I said, if you don't do that, then you just won't become it, man. And this is not what this is all about. Okay. This is what we're trying to get you to understand, man, is this is the time, this is the movement where if you don't have to do certain things, you're going to be willing to put that lifestyle down and move forward. Okay. This is just the facts, bro. Okay. And I just want to help you guys, man, the best that I can, man. And I want you to understand this world is full of NPCs. This world is full of clones. This world is full of people, man, whose objective is to be in this world to get you to think otherwise. Okay. These people are soulless NPC people, bro, who are not going anywhere. Okay. They're creations of the Matrix. And what their job is to do is to pull you back down in the bucket, like the crab in the bucket mentality, to keep you trapped here in 3D. Okay, this is where I said you need to go on your journey and choose your highest path so you won't be affected, bro, by what other people think. Like I told you, okay? But simple fact that, you know, we're still out here going to work in our 9-to-5s. We still have these daily jobs that we have to do. We still have to interact with these people on a daily, okay? You must understand, man, like I said, that is a show being put around you to keep your mindset structured in a certain way. And I want you to understand, man, that you got to snap out of that, okay? You have to snap out of that. And if they don't want to, then let them fade away, bro, because I'm not here to save everybody, okay? I'm here to help the people who have an ear to hear. And this is why I'm here talking to you about retention, because if you're listening to this about retention, you've already made the first step to change your life, okay? If you're on here about celibacy, then you've already made the first step to change your life. Okay. So this shouldn't go, this shouldn't be very hard for you to understand what I'm saying here, but you need to understand how the matrix is set up, and they keep people around you, family members. Okay. All your family members aren't real. I'm here to tell you, man, so many of you guys think this world is not what it is, man. I'm here to tell you it's not what it is, bro. Okay. You were born through these people. Okay. It doesn't mean that these people are your real family members, man. It doesn't mean these people around you are real people, man. You were just born through these people, man. Okay. This is just what it is in this matrix, man. And some of these people around here are not real people, man. They're just not. Okay. And they're a part of the matrix, and their job is to keep you bound to the matrix, man. And you got to be able to rise above that. Okay. And since you're on retention, like I said, you're on the highest path, man. Enlightenment should be a breeze. This shouldn't be anything that is holding you back per se. Okay. You should be able to have the strongest enough, intuition to understand on what the right thing is to do. And I know that most of you know the right thing to do. Most of you guys are pulling yourselves out of the hole that you have dug. I see it. I can see the change in the things that you're talking about, the way that you are acting and the different things that you're doing in your life. That proves to me that you are awakening to what is going on in this world. Okay. But you must understand the matrix has been, doing this for a very long time. They've been undefeated for a very long time. And the way that they do that is they keep these NPC people, these clones, whatever you want to call it, these people in our society, man. And these people are programmed to run on a certain script. Okay. And they have the ability to pull people back down in the bucket. Okay. By various different ways. Okay. Like I said, the body image disorder is the number one way that they pull people back down. The going out to the restaurants and dining and eating death every day is one of the number one ways that they keep people still stuck in this bucket. Okay. But I'm trying to help you guys understand, man, that this is the third dimensional realm. Okay. This is what they call HE double hockey stick, bro. Okay. We're trying to ascend to the 4D, okay, to the 5D, so on and so forth. We're trying to escape this realm where there's nothing but death, poverty, okay, killings, wars, okay, all of that low vibrational stuff, man. We're trying to ascend from that, and you can do that. It's your choice to do that, but you must understand there's certain things that you have to do in order to initiate this ascension process, and this is the number one thing that everybody is struggling with, bro. Because everybody is stuck in the 3D. Everybody goes out, wants to eat the Popeyes chickens, want to eat the McDonald's, want to eat the burgers, want to eat the shrimps and all this different things, the lobsters, the crabs, all of this stuff that you're eating, man, is going to keep you here. Okay. I am telling you the truth. All right. This is why we are going to be intelligent enough to understand that we don't have to eat these things to survive. And once you do that, that's when the aha moment comes on, and you understand that you literally are going to only take what you need. And even then, if you don't need it, you're going to find other ways to supplement your needs. And again, this is the thinking that you need to be on in order to break any of these bondages that you are in, okay? To be able to break any of these blockages that are holding you back. This is the missing key that I see most of the people in our society, bro, who are still affected by, okay? I'm telling you the truth, man, okay? And I want you guys to understand, you cannot judge people, okay, if they're trying, okay? That this is for you vegans, you vegetarians out there. You shouldn't be judging people if they're trying. If these people are truly only taking what they need and they're only eating small portions of certain things that they need to survive, then we should not be riding these people's backs, because you must understand that what I just told you about the good and the bad gut bacteria and how important that balance is. And the minute that balance is obstructed, people get sick and die. Okay. I'm telling you the truth, man. And there's no probiotics. This is a very sensitive balance, man. Okay. And you got to make sure that you are strong enough and you are healthy enough to be able to make this, transfer very easy on the body without causing you any devastating effects. Because like I said, I have all the research, I have all the doctors, the homeopathic doctors, everyone that I have talked to, okay, or we are all on the same agreements, man, about how, temperamental this imbalance could be to yourself if you're not careful. Okay. So that's all I want to talk to you guys about as far as the diet goes, that aspect of the diet. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, okay, is to understand, man, that when we are doing this, okay, when we are trying to be our very best versions, okay, there's going to be a whole lot of hate from the outside world. Okay. There's going to be a whole lot of people that try to hold you back. I am telling you guys, man, this is the things that I have seen since I've been going on my journey, bro. There's going to be a whole lot of people that hold you back. There's going to be a whole lot of people that disagree with what you're doing. And I sat here and told you guys, man, the majority of the people out here are NPCs. Okay, if you don't know what that is, man, you really need to look up that. You really need to hone in on this definition, man, because the majority of people out here are not even real people, bro. Okay, they're simply running off a program. They're simply running off a script, man. And their job is to hold you back. Okay, I'm telling you, their job is to hold you back. They don't want you to escape, bro. This is HE double hockey stick. They don't want you to escape, bro. They are a part of the matrix, man. And there's more of them than there is us. This is why I've been trying to tell you guys, man. You know what time it is. You see what's going on around you in our modern day world. You understand, man, that, this is not the place that we think that we live in, okay, based off of everything that is going on. Shout out to, Spokane, Washington, man. I mean, they're getting hit right now with a tremendous amount of fire, okay, coming from nature. And I told you, this is just all the stuff, man, is displaying to you on what time it is in this world. Okay, I told you we are in the end times. This is what's about to happen. You're about to have so many earthquakes. You're about to have so many fires. You're about to have so many tsunamis, so many crazy weather anomalies, bro. This is the time we are living in. Okay, this is obvious as day. This is not happening by a coincidence. Okay, these things are meant to happen because we're getting closer and closer to the ascension from this planet, man. And this is why everything has gotten so much more radical. And this is why I have to come on here and really hit it on the head, bro, about this diet. And I want you to understand on the importance of the things that you're putting inside of your body. Okay, this is not okay to be out here indulging in all of that madness, man. Okay, that is sinful work, bro, and that's going to keep you bound to this world. So I want to read something to you guys real quick. Okay, this is about diet. Okay, this is about how eating meat affects the brain. Okay, and I want you to listen because so many of you guys are going to sit here and argue, and you're going to keep continuing to eat all this dead animal meat. And I'm sitting here watching people decline daily, bro. Family members, friends. Okay, I can give you some examples in the YouTube community. Okay, my main man, Gotis. Okay, he was one of the people who fully believes that all you should be eating is animals. And I've seen a huge cognitive decline in him. Okay. And I'm going to read it to you here. I'm going to prove it to you, man. This is what it does. This is what affects your body. You need to be eating light foods, bro. You need to be eating foods that promote, okay, good blood flow, okay? Foods that promote a good balance of good gut bacteria, okay? Because if you don't, once that balance is disturbed, there's going to be some things that transpire in the body. So eating meat affects the brain in several ways, some beneficial and some harmful, depending on the type of meat, how much you eat, and how it's processed. Meat delivers nutrients to the brain for energy, signaling a structural maintenance. But higher intake, especially processed variety meats like bacon, deli meats, is linked to inflammation and a measurably higher risk of dementia over time. Okay, did you hear that? Did you guys hear what I just read to you? Okay, these are the facts, bro. Okay, these are the facts. Now, here's this, man. Listen to this. Okay, here's one more for you guys. Nutrients in the meat that fuel the brain. Meat is one of the richest dietary sources of several compounds your brain needs to function. The most important is B12, which is found in almost exclusively animal products. B12 plays in a direct role in maintaining myelin and insulating coating and nerves around fibers that allows electrical signals to travel quickly between brain cells. When B12 level drops, the coating can deteriorate, slowing neural communications and even damaging neurons. B12 is also essential for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and chemical messengers to regulate mood, focus. Adults need about 2.4 micrograms of B12 a day. A single serving of fish can cover that easily. Last one. The processed meat problem. Not all meat affects the brain equally. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and dairy cuts carry risks that unprocessed meats do not, largely because of the inflammation they trigger throughout the body. In a large analysis of UK adults, every 50 grams per day of processed meat consumes was associated with 38% increase in C-reactive protein, a key marker of systematic inflammation, and a 6.5 increase in red blood cells counts. Chronic low-grade inflammation of this kind damages blood vessels, disrupts the brain barrier, and creates conditions in the brain that accelerate cognitive decline. A major study published in the Journal of Neurology tracked long-term eating meat habits and found that people who ate a quarter serving or more of red meat per day had a 13% risk in developing dementia compared to those who ate very little. They also had a 14% risk of subject cognitive decline, the stage where you start noticing your own memory slipping. Unprocessed red meat showed a weaker but still present association. One or more servings per day was linked to 16% risk of subject cognitive decline. Replacing a daily serving of processed meat with nuts and legumes was also associated with lower risk of dementia. Okay, so right there, all right, I'm proving to you guys on how the overeating of the foods that we are taking into our body, especially these meats that are promoted to us every single day, bro, here in our society, man, I'm telling you guys what is happening. I'm telling you what is holding you back. Okay, I'm telling you on what's causing you guys to fail on your retention journey, bro. Okay, this is why we are not able to activate to the levels that we are trying to get to. Okay, we are struggling. This is why we are having all these problems. Do you understand that all of this eating is tied to your nervous system? Do you understand on how important the nervous system is to the body? Do you understand that every single time that you have inflammation in your nervous system, bro, this is one of the main reasons why you are struggling on your journey, why you are struggling on the relapse, why you are struggling on your discipline, because this is what it does. Everything that we have been promoted in our society, bro, all right, has been working against us, okay? There should be very little portions of this stuff that we should be consuming. But like I said, if you go look around at any kind of nutrition based, information that is given to us, there is always a bigger proportion of these bad foods that we are promoted to eat, man. And because of that, man, like I said, this is the reason why we are in the situations that we are in as far as mankind, bro. This is why there is so much cognitive decline. This is why people don't understand. We just heard dementia is one of the main causes of this, okay? This is why people don't understand. This is why they are struggling, man, because of the stuff that we're putting in our bodies. I told you when I was fasting, when I was eating one meal a day, okay, and I was eating mostly a plant-based and fruit-based diet, okay, I have been the healthiest, the sharpest that I've ever been in my whole life, okay? I'm keeping it real with you guys, okay? The youngest, the best looking that I've ever looked in my whole life, man. Okay. And the only reason, man, why it is something that is not as hard to obtain is, like I told you, they have done a good job with affecting the foods. This is why everywhere you go, especially all the grocery stores now that are ran by these corporations, they understand the importance of this. This is why the hospitals, this is why the medical system, this is why pharmaceuticals, okay, are the biggest businesses here in the United States because of the foods that we are consuming. Okay. You must understand that no matter where you go, okay, no matter what you decide to choose, there is going to be pros and cons. And I'm telling you, the cons are going to be more, they're going to be more, pronounced than anything else than being the good benefits, because what I've seen, okay, from my family to my friends to the research that I have done, the stuff that I've read on the internet, okay, the people that I have talked to, the people that I have worked with personally, okay, everybody is affected, okay, by the things that they are putting in their body. And you come to see that most of these people are eating these harmful foods, okay. They don't seem to understand that the parasites and all these different things that reside in the foods that we are given are causing them to age and ill much quicker. So again, this is why most people are struggling on their retention diets, bro, okay? Because they are eating the foods that do not promote balance. They are eating the foods, man, that do not promote, alkalinity inside of the body. Now, I want to play this other thing to you guys real quick. I want you to listen the importance of eating a plant-based diet, because this is super important. This is why I do it. This is why I eat more of a plant-based, man, and I don't eat so much meat, because I have seen this. I have seen this, bro, just basically on my journey, and I've learned that this is the optimal diet for the body. This is how, like I said, I've gotten to a point, man, where I'm so healthy. I can't remember the last time that I was sick, and like I said, man, I've been around sick people. I've worked in sick environments, and all the people that are around me, okay, I happen just to watch the things that they consume. And most of the times these people are consuming what I just told you, okay, mostly the processed meats, okay, mostly the red meats, okay, mostly too many portions of meats, okay, in their diets. And this is the balance that is off. This is the balance that we need to correct. And again, it's going to be a struggle. It's not going to be easy, because I understand, man. I understand what they are doing to us as far as the diets. So I'm going to play this video for you real quick, and I want you guys to listen up. This has to do with semen retention and diet, so check it out.
Let's dive into semen retention and how it gives the body electrical energy, how it produces stem cells, and how it produces the Christos oil. And boys, if you're trying to have a child, this video is for you. This is why I don't trust doctors, because who has gone to a doctor and say, hey doc, we're having problems getting a kid. What is your recommendation? Has any doctor ever recommended holding your seed for 72 days, waiting for it to mature, and then trying to have a child? No. If you're trying to have a kid, if you're trying to have a child, you need your swimmers to be able to swim. And they can't swim unless they have a tail, and they don't grow their tail until they mature. So if you guys are having issues, wait 72 days and try it again. Let me know if it works. And this is why the number 72 is so important across different cultures and religions. Like in the Bible, Jesus sent out 72 disciples, Jewish mysticism, 72, Islam, 72, Egyptian mythology, 72, Chinese, yada, 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 blase swoop. So what happens is after 72 days of maturation, these mature sperm cells go through a process of mitosis where they split and create stem cells, and then the whole process starts over because it just regenerates itself. That's where we get the concept of my chalice runneth over in the Bible. The chalice runneth over with stem cells, and then they just create new sperm cells, and the whole process starts over and over. This is where it gets fun, and where only people who are on an alkaline diet are going to be able to utilize this and create the Christos oil, all right? So the sperm surface membrane exhibits varying levels of electrostatic potential that are proportional to the level of celiac acid residue is the key word, acquired on the cell surface during maturation. What is celiac acid? an alpha keto acidic sugar group. These are ketones. These are ketones. These are ketones from the sugars of the glucose. Acetyl. The acetyl moiety is a compound of many organic compounds, including acetic acid, neurotransmitter, acetylcholine, acetyl coli. Acetyl coli. This is what takes the pyruvate and plugs it into the Krebs cycle. This is the byproduct. The acetyl is the byproduct of plugging that pyruvate into the Krebs cycle. And the reason that you get the pyruvate is from these monosaccharides that are reduced via glycolysis, creating pyruvate. Just want to clarify so there's no questions. A moiety is a part of a molecule that is given a name because it identified as part of other molecules as well. Acetyl coli. Acetyl. This is where we get into sperm selection based on electrostatic charge. This is the charge from the byproduct of plugging that pyruvate into the Krebs cycle. Electrostatic charge-based sperm separation is a recently developed technique that uses an electric field to isolate mature sperm with reduced levels of DNA fragmentation. Electrostatic sperm separation is basically the process where an electric field selectively attracts the negatively charged sperm to a specific collection area. These are the mature sperm cells. You need the separation because 90% of the sperm is not sperm. So this separation separates the plasma from the sperm, and the cerebral spinal fluid is made up of plasma. People are like, oh, it's not plasma. Ultrafiltrate of plasma. Ultrafiltrate is the material that results from an ultrafiltration process, which is a method of removing excess fluids from the body. The excess fluids found in the sperm. And would you look at that, plasma is considered magnetic. So the way that you raise this chrism back into the cerebral spinal fluid and suck it up into the pua is through breath work. When you practice nasal breathing, it stimulates the pranayama nerve, which stimulates the production of nitrogen oxide. When nitrogen oxide is mixed with the moisture in the air, it becomes nitric acid. When nitric acid mixes with oxygen, it becomes nitrogen dioxide, which is paramagnetic. So when you're practicing these circulatory breathing exercises, you're pulling this paramagnetic nitrogen dioxide down and grabbing that chrism, grabbing that plasma through magnetism and pulling it back up. And then when you do the breath hold and you suck the air in after the breath hold, it goes straight up into the brain. And that is how you create the chrism and raise the chrism. And how your body separates the plasma from the sperm is we are in between two torus fields, and in between, in the middle of your body, is the plane of inertia where all this semen goes out on a flat plane. And then we use this electrostatic separation in an alkaline environment, and it separates, and then your body can pull it up with the paramagnetic nitrogen dioxide that you create. Does that make sense? So it only works in an alkaline environment, and you can only get the charge to do this, charge the sperm from the acetyl coli, the byproduct of the acetyl coli, the acetyl, from plugging the pyruvate into the Krebs cycle. So that's all about diet. It's all about diet. So everyone can get the energetic benefits of not having to produce more seed because it takes a lot of energy and takes away your charge. But only people who are on an alkaline all-fruit diet will be able to separate and raise this plasma 10%. See, this is where we get 10% tithing because most of this is just fluid that it's stuck in. This is the concentration chrism that you produce that is then separated in this field of inertia and separated through this static or electrostatic separation of the semen and then pulled up. It pulls up that plasma through magnetism from the breath work, from the nitric oxide that then turns into nitric acid, that then turns into nitric dioxide, because that's paramagnetic and the plasma is magnetic. So they attract each other, pulling it up, and then you exhale the breath hold. After you do it, then you suck up your stomach up into your brain, and it goes into the Most High, into the medulla. Well, I hope that made sense to someone else.
All right, guys. So basically, what I just played there was the proof to you on how the diet affects your Christos oil and your semen retention processes. Again, I told you, man, there is a very, very key diet that you have to be eating. Okay. And that is mostly fruits and veggies, bro. Okay. That is a alkaline diet. That's if you want to facilitate this practice to happen much quicker. Okay. Because this is in fact what happens. I told you, man, when you're eating acidic foods, bro, this is what is going to affect this process. Now, I looked over in the comment section and I seen one of my moderators that I'm about to address here real quick, man. And basically, I had to just kick him out of the stream because of the craziest things that he was saying to me. I doubt that Jim even listened to a thing that I said in this whole stream, because I never once it said eating meat is okay. The whole time I've been saying that it is not okay. The whole time I've been explaining to you the certain people that have to eat a certain amount of food. See, this is the ignorance of people, man, who are obviously narcissistic, Jim, and I'm glad to see you go, that you think you're going to come on my stream, bro, after being a moderator of mine and speak to me like that. Okay, that was very, very disrespectful, bro. And then you have these trolls in here that are coming right behind you. Okay, so I'm glad to see you go, man. You have a good day, Jim, bro. You thank you for being the moderator that you were at the time that what you were, bro. But you didn't listen to a damn thing that I said. Okay. And it also shows you that you are highly, bro, uneducated. Okay. And you could never be a doctor, because if you think that you could just get everybody in this world to go on a vegan diet and they're going to be healthy, you have another thing coming, my man. Okay. You have another thing coming. This is why you're in the classroom and you're not a teacher. Okay. Because you have no clue of what you're talking about. Everyone cannot be on a vegan diet, bro. Everyone cannot just go out here and try to eat plants, fruits, and veggies. It doesn't work like that. Okay. I just sat here and told you the key point of the balance of the diet and how important the good and the bad gut bacteria is. Okay. And by the looks of it, Jim, bro, it looks like that's already affecting you, my man. Okay. Because you don't look very healthy, man. Okay. And I can already see some cognitive decline in the way that you think, that you come on here and you think that I'm attacking people who are vegans and vegetarians, and I'm a plant-based. I don't eat meat. So I don't even understand on how you're going to come at me like that. Again, it was very disrespectful, and I'm glad to see you go, man. Okay. Because you have some serious mental health issues, bro. And I really, truly believe that's all based off of what you eat. You don't seem to understand that your gut and your gut bacteria are very important to your mental health. And as far as I'm concerned, man, it looks like you're struggling in that boat because you don't have an ounce of understanding. And again, this is why you are in the classroom and you are not the teacher. This is why you would never be a doctor. This is why you would probably never be someone that be looked up to as a leader, because you're very judgmental and you pop off extremely too fast, which is all signs of declining mental health, bro. Okay. And I think that all attributes to the diet that you're on and the simple fact that you don't think that there's a sophisticated balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. And the bad bacteria do not eat plants, bro. The bad bacteria do not eat vegetables, bro. The bad bacteria, bro, do not eat fruits. Okay, there's a balance there. Okay, and I said it the best way that I can say it. I said anybody out there that has the ability to be able to go on this diet and their body is healthy enough and they can sustain themselves without eating it, I encouraged them to continue to go on and do that. But I told you that everybody else, man, who does not have a strong immune system, everybody else, bro, that, you know, that has a completely different DNA are going to have to go about this completely different. And the way that I gave the backstory to it was that it's a balance. People are going to have to figure out what they can eat at the minimum without adding to all of the suffering that I just clearly said in my live stream. If you go rewind this live stream, I clearly put it out there for everyone to be able to understand what I'm saying. And you seem like you're the only person, man, who did not understand what I'm saying. Again, which should show you that there's some serious cognitive dissonance going on there, bro. Okay. Because I've put it out there pretty simple, man. Okay. I do not promote eating of animals. I am not a vegan. I am not a vegetarian. I am a plant-based I eat plant-based foods. Okay. My immune system is strong enough. I understand the different things that I need to eat to sustain on who it is that I am. But I also know at one point when I decided to come off of eating all of that, okay, without having the education, without understanding the way that the body works, I became very ill and sick. This is why there are so many people out there who have the same similar stories on YouTube, okay? I believe they're called ex-vegan videos. But again, that's because they don't understand the key balance in between the good and the bad gut bacteria. And once you understand that, you understand it, what you're going to have to do, your objective more clearly, in the way that you're going to have to move in a world where all the food has been hybridized, all the food and the soil has been mineral depleted on purpose, okay, to push us to eat a certain food, which is only going to cause cognitive decline in us, which I have just read in the article that supported everything that I said, okay? So I just want you guys to understand, no matter where you're at in your diet, okay, I'm trying to tell you the highest path possible, okay? I'm trying to show you how to get there. I'm trying to show you that if you want to ascend in this world, if you want to do things called retention, you must understand what this practice is about and what the people before us did, okay? And that's all I'm trying to show here, okay? I didn't criticize anybody on their diets. I don't do that anymore because, like I said, I used to eat that all the time. I used to eat meat all the time. And like I said, when I came off of it, okay, and I didn't have the education to understand on what I was doing to my body, okay, I was one of those people who fell into the vegan, the ex-vegan propaganda, okay, I'll admit that, I was one of the first people, okay, to do that because I didn't understand that there's a balance between good and bad gut bacteria that you have there. You don't seem to understand it, bro. And I think that's just why your bad bacteria is attacking you. And there's extreme cognitive decline happening in you that you think you have the audacity to come on here after I've uplifted you as a mod on my channel for all of these years. And you're going to talk to me and disrespect me like that, bro. And you have a hard way of hearing on what I said, okay? I have plenty of other people in the comment section that know exactly what I'm saying. So what does that say about you, bro? Okay? It says that you're hard of hearing and you miss the message completely, okay? And you're too overly judgmental. And to think that you're going to ascend with an attitude like that, you have another thing coming, man. I have a feeling this is your checks and balances happening to you right now. And to understand that not everybody in this world is going to be able to go on the same path as you. And just because you have some success, which you think you've had some success, but I highly doubt it's success because, like I said, your brain looks like it's struggling right now, bro. Okay, that you think that what I said was directed to you or the vegan community after, like I said, I don't even eat meat. I don't understand where you're coming from, man. Okay, very disrespectful, bro. And I don't appreciate that. And you will no longer be here on our live streams. So I want to read this one more thing to you guys here. I want to read the impact, all right, of understanding the impact of foods on the vagus nerve. I just sat here and just told you, man. I explained all this to you guys, okay? I'm sitting here explaining on the impact of these foods on your nervous system. I never once promoted these foods, okay? All I said was certain people have to eat a certain diet, okay? They have to. I never promoted them to eat a whole lot of it. I said that there's a balance. The body needs a certain balance, okay? And in order to make sure that that balance is going to work before you come off of it, you have to be healthy, okay? I don't recommend anybody trying to go to a vegan diet, okay? You've never heard me promote the vegan diet on here, okay? I don't promote vegan. Stop saying vegan. I don't promote vegan, okay? What is vegan? Let me clarify it for all the people in the back. I do not promote vegan, okay? Vegan is eating raw fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables. Does anybody not know what I said? Vegan is eating raw fruits and vegetables. I don't just eat raw fruits and vegetables. I'm on a plant-based diet where I eat plant-based items and I cook some of my food, okay? I get plenty of other benefits through my diet through animal products. Sometimes I have cheese. Sometimes I have milk. Sometimes I have kefir. Sometimes I'll have whatever I want other than eating animal flesh. And that would put me in the category of someone trying to evolve and help others evolve from killing animals. But yet and still, I have somebody come up in here trying to promote a diet which only promotes death, which only promotes illness, obviously, mental illness, because they don't understand the human body. They don't understand the balance between good and bad gut bacteria. And this is probably what's going to take you out, my man, because you seem to don't understand this, all right? And I'm trying to help you guys see, okay? I understand that we don't want to do this, but again, you've never heard me once promote a vegan diet, bro. Okay, I don't promote that. I promote don't eating animals. If you want to put vegan in my mouth, even though I said that I don't promote it, there's something wrong with you. Okay, there's something mentally ill wrong with you because I've never promoted that diet. Okay, I told you what I eat. All right, that is not vegan. That's more vegetarian, but I don't even eat vegetarian. I call it a plant-based diet with cooked foods. And that's what I do because I get plenty of nutrition through powder forms. I get plenty of nutrition through other things like tofu. I do so many different things, okay, to ensure that my health, bro, is not going to decline like a vegan because eating a vegan diet is crazy. Okay, in a world like today, eating a vegan diet is damn near mentally ill because I just sat here and told you, bro, that you cannot get all of your nutrition from eating raw vegetables and raw fruits. Not in this society. Maybe in a different country. Maybe some place that we're oblivious of where the minerals and the nutrients in the soil have not been tampered with, okay, where they're not having a whole bunch of hybridized fruits and vegetables, maybe that, but we're in America, bro, okay? And I told you the minute I tried a vegan diet, what happened to me? I went on it for discipline too. I went on it for damn near 8 years, and I fell off of it because of why? Because I got sick. Because my body started attacking itself. What did I find out was the main culprit that made me come off the vegan diet is because I disturbed the healthy bad bacteria, which we all need. There's a balance in your gut that is always going to be there, and it's called good and bad gut bacteria. The minute you start disturbing either one or the other, your body attacks you. Okay. And this is where you get all of these stories of these ex-vegans on the internet telling their stories on how they almost died and they got sick on a vegan diet. A vegan diet is not what you're supposed to be eating, fool. Change your wording. Just say you don't eat animals. Say you eat a plant-based diet. When you say vegan, bro, that means you better not be eating no damn cooked food. You better not be eating nothing like that. Only thing you want to be eating, bro, is raw fruits and veggies. That means you're going out in your garden and you're taking a damn raw sweet potato and you're biting it like a piece of meat. You're going out in your garden, bro, and you're grabbing a tomato and you're eating it raw. You're going and grab some fruit and you're eating it raw. That's a vegan, bro. That's the real definition of vegan. Nobody is vegan, bro, in 2026, man. They're lying to you. Ain't nobody vegan, bro, because the minute you do that, you get sick. Because, again, your body turns on you because you don't know what to eat, bro. You have to have a balance of good and bad bacteria in your gut. The minute you do not do that, the minute you get sick, okay? Ask me, how do I know? Because I've already been there. And then I've shared, like I said, I've talked to homeopathic doctors. I've talked to real doctors, bro, who will really tell you the truth. I've had people that I've had consultations with that I've sat and I've talked to probably 30, 40 people who used to be full vegans. And we've all came up with the same conclusion, man, that eating a vegan diet is not healthy. Okay, it is not healthy. Sure, bro, you can get that badge of honor for being a good person, but what the hell does that mean when you're going to be dead soon? What is the hell is that going to mean when your mental health is declining? What the hell does that mean, man, when you look like you're damn 70 years old, bro? Okay, you don't look healthy, man. Okay, I'm just keeping it a buck with you, bro. You do not look healthy, bro. Okay, you look very sickly, man. All right, and you can tell by the way that you're acting, man, that your brain don't work, man. And you might need to look into getting your bacteria in your gut checked, man, because you just fell off, bro, in front of everybody. You came in here disrespecting me, bro. Are you jealous of me or something, man? Are you waiting for the opportunity to come on here and act a damn fool? You just embarrassed yourself, man. And no matter where you run in this community, man, that stench is going to follow you, bro. I don't care what channel you run to, man. Ain't nobody going to look at you the same, man. You're a straight up goofy, bro. To be able to think that you're going to come on here and start talking like that, promoting that damn death diet when everybody look at your ass, you have no goddamn hair, bro. Okay? And you're mentally ill. To think that I was sitting here talking down on eating animals when that's the number one thing that I promote on this channel is to not eat animals. You've never heard me not say that, bro. And yet you want to take everything that I said out of context, man. Why? What is wrong with you? I told you what is wrong with you. You mentally ill, bro. And you might want to go get your gut checked, man. Because that is what's killing you, man. Your brain ain't working, bro. People have to do what they have to do. This is hell, bro. Did you miss that video too? Did you miss that live stream, man? This is hell, okay? You have to eat for what your body needs, bro. Not what you spiritually want to eat. You're in hell. You're not in 4D. You're not in 5D. You're in third dimensional realm, bro. You're in the heaviest matter realm. You have to eat for what your body needs. And I've never promoted once eating animals. That's why I've been sitting here trying to tell you, bro, there's other ways to do it. And I told you this is the highest path, but you never once heard me promote vegan, bro. I've never done that because I know the truth. I know what's going to happen to you if you try to eat raw vegan. Stop saying the word vegan. That's your problem. Stop saying the word vegan, bro. Vegetarian is way better than the word vegan because at least on vegetarian, they're going to be able to feed their gut. They're going to be able to feed their microgut biome, which is what's keeping you alive. It ain't the damn food you eat, fool. It's your microgut biome that's keeping you alive. That's keeping your brain healthy. That's keeping your gut healthy. That's what you're supposed to be eating. And there's not one person that I have met, not even on the internet unless they're full of cap, not even lying-ass vegan gains, is a true vegan, okay? They use that word, all right, to garnish attention. All right, to make people think it's something when it's not. Ain't nobody vegan, bro. Not one person vegan, man. It probably except you. And you can see how you are acting, bro. You should be ashamed of yourself to think that you was going to come up here and you're going to disrespect me like that on this live stream for some attention, bro, and totally derail everything that I had going on here. When you clearly heard me say, just like everybody in this damn live stream who was sat in the comments to try to calm your little goofy ass down and tell you that I didn't say nothing like that. What is wrong with you, bro? I told you what is wrong with you. Mental decline. Because you don't understand that your gut is everything, bro. That's where all the diseases start in your body is your gut. And when you don't have good and bad bacteria there, bro, guess what's going to decline first? Yes, that big old dome on top of your head, bro, that has the brain in it, okay? And this is why they say vegans are mentally ill, because you are. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the damn program that you stand up for. You're proving it, man, because you don't understand life. You don't understand the balance. You try to get people to get to where you're at slowly. You don't be extremists out here pushing this propaganda on people who, like I said, most of these people are coming from, hereditary different things in their family, man. They can't just jump on eating fruits and vegetables, man, and think that they're going to survive. Not in this world, not in this America, United States, when I just sat there and told you the way the food has been tampered with. You have to use your head, bro, okay? And the way that you do it is you get people to slowly understand on why they're doing it, okay? This is why you're not a teacher. This is why you don't got a channel. You wonder why nobody listens to you because you're an extremist, bro, and you've just embarrassed yourself, bro, on the damn internet, man, trying to promote a damn vegan diet which promotes death. That's what you just done. That is embarrassing as hell, man. And I can't believe I made you a moderator for all these years and you don't think you're going to talk to me like that. You goof troop. I wish you would say that to my face like that and disrespect me. Trying to tell me about my Crohn's. My Crohn's didn't have nothing to do with a damn vegan diet. That's called hereditary. That's called shots in the ass from being a military brat. You have no idea what you're talking about, man. And I'm very disappointed in you, bro, that you went out like that, bro. I've been watching your attitudes. I've been keeping it quiet. People have been having problems with you in the comment section for a long time, man. And then all of a sudden today is your outburst. Why, bro? Why you want to come in here and act stupid? Why you want to come up here and disrespect me? Why you want to come up here and ask me to clarify? Why don't you go back and rewatch the video and slap yourself in the face and look how foolish you look? Because I said nothing like that, man. All I have done was speak the truth about diet, about the importance, about how it's very tricky balance on what people should be eating, especially in America. I applaud you if you think you can find a way around what I've said, okay? But most of the people are not going to be, okay? Just like myself. I went on it for 8 years, bro, and I ended up becoming a ex-vegan for a reason. The reason why you don't hear me promote vegan. Stop saying the word vegan. I don't promote vegan. I'll say it one more time. I don't promote vegan. And if you keep putting vegan in my mouth, it just shows me that you're an ignorant ass person because I don't promote vegan. I say I don't eat meat. Not eating meat is not vegan, fool. Look up the definition of vegan. Vegan is eating raw fruits and vegetables. That is a vegan. I am not a vegan. I eat animal products. Why? Because I'm not stupid. I know what you're supposed to have as far as balance of gut bacteria. You can't eat raw fruits and vegetables in America and expect to have a healthy thinking brain because you're going to end up breaking down just like he did on this live stream and come up here and completely distract the class from what we're supposed to be learning, okay? That is the truth, man. And I'm sorry all you guys had to experience that. I'm sorry all you guys had to come up here, man, and watch someone, man, who I've looked up to for a very long time, man, okay, that made him an official mod with too much damn power. And now that I look back about all the things that people were complaining about, I can see it so much clearly that you would think that you're bigger than the rest of the damn class, bro. You think you're bigger than the rest of us, man, with your rhetoric. And you don't seem to understand. You seem to have not studied health. You have not studied health. You need to go ask a real doctor on why you can't eat vegan, bro. Because he's going to tell you the exact same thing that I've just said. You can't eat it, bro, because it does not sustain the good and bad bacteria in your gut. There's going to be an imbalance. And what happens is those bad bacteria start attacking and start wondering where the hell their food is. And this is how people die. This is how people get sick. This is how even the creator who became vegan died at such a very young age because he failed to learn that as well. We're smarter than that, bro. I went on this journey of health for a reason. I didn't study health for 12 years for no reason. To be able to come on here and give my advice. I would not come on here and embarrass myself, man, if I didn't have sound advice. And because I was an own guinea pig and I went through all of these different things in my life, I found out the key of what you're supposed to be eating. I had to learn the hard way. Yes, I was a raging vegan just like him at one point because all I could see was don't eat animals. And to some degree, they're right. But you need to understand on, like I said, where we reside. You need to understand on what we're eating for in this third dimensional realm. We're eating for the life of this body, to sustain this body, to keep this body alive, to endure in this body so we can ascend. And you can't do that, bro. You cannot do that eating a vegan diet, bro. I will never promote it ever on my channel. I will tell people to not eat meat, but I will tell people to go other ways to try to feed what is important in their body, which is their good gut bacteria. And again, If you're one of those people that are lucky enough, you're one of the 1% in this world who have this big ass huge farm to yourself, and you have this perfect soil, and you're getting all these imported fruits and vegetables from all these different exotic places around the world, and you can eat a diet like that sustains you, good for you. But that's not majority, 99% of the people in this world, okay? What we're trying to do is we're trying to put things down slowly at one thing at a time. We're stopping the hurt. We're stopping the suffering one day at a time by awareness, okay? No one is going to be able to go cold turkey, fool. Not even on drugs. No one's going to be able to go cold turkey. And you are discouraging people who are truly trying to have the ears to hear, man, on about going on this diet because of your rhetoric and your radicalness, man. And this is all I'm trying to say, okay? I don't want people to be discouraged on what's going on here in our world. I want to encourage people to do the right thing. And the way that we're going to do that, bro, is by teaching them the proper way that they're not going to get sick and die and end up coming back on the internet and end up holding you liable for giving them health information that took their damn life. You're the one that needs to be careful running around saying that, bro, okay? Because you're the one who's going to get the karma for that, all right? I'm trying to tell people on what they're truly supposed to do, man, okay? Never once did I sit there and promote eating of animals, okay? Never did I once. I said that there is a balance, and some people have to eat a small amount of certain foods. And if they do have to eat that, then the only thing that I would suggest is to eat it in the smallest portions. Okay, don't be out here being gluttonous. Don't be out here overeating. Don't be out here indulging in all of the animal sacrifice. That's what I said, pretty clear. And you missed the whole message because your brain doesn't work. All right. And I'm just so disappointed, man, that you wanted to come on here and take over the show. I'm so disappointed, man, that you think it's all about you, bro. And I'm glad to see you gone up out of my comment section, man. So listen, man, I'm going to play this one last video for you guys, and I'm going to get up out of here, man, because this person has just totally messed up my stream. I'm going to have to come in here and edit it. And I'm just sad, like I said, man, to see him, you know, be one of my long-term moderators. And then he just decided to act a fool, have a crash out because he's mentally ill. And he doesn't understand, bro, the importance, man, of having a balance of gut bacteria. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that he's being attacked by this very thing that I've been speaking of. Okay, this called the cognitive decline. Okay, the bad bacteria is attacking you, bro. That's why you look the way you do. Okay, I'm not trying to clown you, but it's the truth. That's why you look the way you do, bro. Because you have failed to understand, man, that is the single most important thing to keeping this body healthy. And this is why people eat that food, okay? Inherently, they know this, okay? They might not be eating it because they know that they're taking an animal's life. No, they know it because they need it for their bodies inherently to be healthy. And they're right to some degree, okay? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people to understand that there's a tremendous amount of animal sacrifice going on, and we need to be eating the smallest portions of that as possible to survive or up until our bodies are healthy enough to be able to wean off of that and be able to sustain ourselves on other options to eat in this society. And that's all I was trying to tell people, man, before you just decided to start attacking me on my own stream, bro. And I've been positive as hell. I haven't been not negative at all. I'm never negative, man. I am positive as hell. And for the simple fact that you wanted to do that, man, like I said, man, I can't believe that you decided to take it there, bro. I'm very disappointed in you. I'm going to read a couple of these comments, though, before I get out of here, man. And we're going to call this stream for today. Facts, truth. I hear you, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. I don't understand, bro, how people cannot listen to what I just said. Okay, we sat here and we broke this down pretty clear as day, bro. Okay, we told all we need to tell about what we should be doing. And this guy just decided to come in here. Again, he's my moderator. That's what's even worse, man. That's what's even worse. And the sad part is there's so many people have been telling me that he's been acting a fool and he's been removing people when they shouldn't be removed. And he's been, cursing people out in the comment section. Listen, I apologize to you guys, man, that, I let that go on for way longer than it needed to be. Okay. Because I should have done something about that a long time ago. Okay. Again, Jack was sitting here. He's one of my proof, man. He said, Jim, calm down. You're not even listening to what Dare said. Okay. He didn't listen to a damn word of what I said, bro. And everybody else gets it. Everybody else gets what I'm saying. Even my own family gets what I'm saying. I've had this conversation with my own family, and I'm getting them to stop eating so much, okay? This is not what it's about. It's about understanding on what we're doing. It's about understanding on the karma. It's about understanding, man, about the backlash that we are creating in our society, okay? We don't have to consume all of the stuff that we've been consuming, okay? And we're learning that now because look what they're doing with our meats. You have the 3D printed meat, okay? You have all the fake meat that's being printed out, okay? That's a sign for you right there that we are doing too much as far as eating animals is concerned. And this is why we are questioning what we're even eating now in the modern day, okay? I know so many of you guys have seen the videos out there that there's been DNA found in some of these foods, okay? We understand that there's no way McDonald's can serve a damn million damn hamburgers in 1 month, okay? We're smarter than that. We understand what is going on here, and we are conducting ourselves the best way that we can. Okay, we're understanding we're going to have to cut back on certain things. Okay, my message here today was to get people to understand in order to get to the highest path in life, this is one of the things that you're going to have to figure out. And in order to get there, there's going to be a very sophisticated balance, and it's going to be the smallest portion on your plate. Okay, that's if you have to do it. Okay, while you're young, like I was in my 20s when I went vegan for eight years. Okay, your body's resilient. You might not notice all of that right away. And I'm still resilient because I don't eat meat. Okay, I've found other ways to feed my gut bacteria, but even yet and still, okay, I was told by people, man, who I listened to, all right, that, that could eventually catch up to me again. And I told them, hey, man, when that time comes, and then that time will come, and I will, adjust accordingly. But as of right now, I feel like I am healthy enough to continue to go on and doing what I'm doing because I'm able to feed my body in the way where I don't need to do that. Okay. And I want you to understand, man, this is not going to be happening in the next dimension. This is not going to be happening at our ascension. We're not going to be eating the same foods. Okay. This is all a preparation, man, to get us to ascend to be our higher selves. Okay. And all I'm doing is spreading the awareness to everybody in the community, man, okay, that this is the genocide that is taking place down here. And we all need to do our part by cutting back, by only taking what we need. Like I said very clearly, only taking what we need, okay? And stop being greedy and over and indulging and causing more suffering and causing more loss of water and all these different things that we're causing here on our planet that is leading to the destruction of our world. And that is one of the main contributing factors. So that's all I was doing, man. Okay. Like I said, I wasn't disrespectful with it. I was very professional with it the whole time. And then I turn around and look in my comment section and I see one of my mods talking down on me, okay, calling me all sorts of names, okay, letting trolls, not even doing his job, letting trolls, okay, that were just waiting for this opportunity to come in here and try to jump on me, be able to say whatever they want, okay? You bro, you failed in every single aspect. You didn't even do your job, man. And good, I'm glad that you're gone. It's a fact, bro. He was way too amped. I don't understand what got him amped in the first place. But I like I said, after further review, I understand what's going on with people like that. This is why the vegans, the radical vegans have a reputation, bro, of being radical because they are. Okay, this is why it's embarrassing to even call yourself a vegan, because you got people like this representing them, all right, trying to push this rhetoric on everybody, and they don't understand the delicacy of the human body. Okay, again, if you're strong enough, if you have the ability to go around everything that I've said, more power to you, bro. But again, I'm doing this as the aspect of a real teacher, of a real so-called, if I were a doctor, to give the best advice that I can to prolong people's health. And if anybody else were to just go take radical advice like that, you're going to end up in the ex-vegan bandwagon like many other people in this community. What's happening with you, Steven, man? I appreciate you for being up in here, man. Thank you for coming up in here and chatting with your boy, man. I appreciate you for being up in here. I'm telling you truth, man. You guys were telling me about him for a long time, man. And, you know, I have a very caring heart. I'm a very, you know, honest person, man. And, you know, I try to look in the best in people, man. And that's what I've been doing with Jim, because I've seen you guys complain about it, and I've just kind of turned my back on it. And yes, some of the times he's removed people completely out of bounds, and I still just kept my mouth shut. But, you know, I just so happened to look over in the comment section, man, after, you know, my little spew about what you should be eating as far as balancing your diet. And I can't believe the things that I was seeing. I'm like, is he talking to me? Like, I had to really look through all the messages. I was like, is he talking to me? And yes, he was talking to me, man. So I'm glad that he had got up out of here, man. That's just the facts. Yeah, Kyle Wayfit. Yeah, bro. I had to, bro. I had to kick him up out of here, man. And it's just crazy, bro, that my man was attacking me like that. Yeah, Dylan, he did, man. I had Jim, you know, Jim, like I said, one of my longest term, you know, moderators, bro. Jim had full authority on this channel. He had full authority to be able to come in here and make decisions on my channel. Like I said, no wonder so many people have left and never came back. You know, there's a lot of guys that I used to have in my comment section, and they've all just disappeared from commenting. And now I'm hoping when now he's gone, that it'll bring more of these comments back. More people are willing to engage without feeling like they're going to be removed wrongfully by somebody who is radically and obviously mentally ill. And again, you know, Gotis said this many years ago, and I'm not calling him right. I'm not calling him right. Okay, I'm not calling him right by any means, but Gotis said this many years ago. He said vegans are mentally ill. And I got defensive because of that, because I was a vegan and I wasn't mentally ill. I wasn't someone who pushed my views upon people like this. I wasn't someone who exploded and got angry on people because of something I disagreed with. Okay, again, which further shows you that there's a significant amount of cognitive decline, bro, in vegans. Okay, people that are raw vegans, people who do not eat animal products, people who do not feed their microgut biome. Okay, that leads, I just read it to you what it leads to. Okay, it leads to mental illnesses. And you can see this, bro, when someone totally has missed the point on something that I've said so clear that everybody else in the comment section could see. And yet he decided to crash out. He decided to, you know, embarrass himself, bro, in a community that he was highly respected on. Bro, Jim, I'm sorry, bro. You've just lost all your respect, bro. You will not be able to show your face, man. You better come with the biggest apology. And even then, bro, I'm not letting you back as being a moderator, bro. You've just embarrassed yourself, man, and you've pretty much just dug your own grave, man. And I hope that sits with you for a while, and understanding how selfish and, you know, how immature that you decide to act, because you don't understand the balance of this thing that I've told you about the human body. Okay, you're really literally calling out everybody and basically telling everybody that they're stupid because they can't do a diet that you're doing. And that diet was never meant to be sustainable. Okay. It's something to look up to. It's very noble. But like I said, at the end of the day, man, it's not sustainable long term. Okay. Vegan diet is not sustainable. Okay. This is why I never promote it. I promote a plant-based. Okay. I've promoted vegetarianism over a vegan diet. because again, I understand the balance of what one is supposed to be eating, okay, as far as feeding your good and bad gut bacteria. When one or the other is not being fed, one or the other overgrows and they start to look for their food. And what ends up happening is they overtake the body. Okay. And this is where, like I said, mental decline comes in because, like I said, your immune system starts fighting against you because they are your immune system. They are your army. Okay. And there's a balance because we live where? We live in the third dimensional realm. We live in hell. Okay, we have to eat for the body. We're not eating for living in 4D, 5D. Okay, but this is why I try to tell you, if you can go around it and you're healthy, by all means, do that. But the minute you start feeling symptoms, the minute you start feeling, any kind of decline in your health, understand on why that is happening if you're a person out there and you decide to take the vegan diet for what it is. Because, like I said, you're not feeding your bad bacteria. Sure, you're feeding your good bacteria, but there's a balance. And you should never be trying to get rid of your bad bacteria. It doesn't work like that. This is the human body, okay? It's a reason why they're there, okay? So I just want you guys to understand that, man. Exactly. I don't think Jim retained, bro. Jim didn't, that's not a retainer, bro. And if it is, like I said, that's some mental illness, bro. Severe case of mental illness, man. And I can only contribute that to a vegan diet, okay? And again, like I said, my man Gotis, man, if you're listening, Gotis, man, you were right, bro. You were right calling all vegans mentally ill because they are mentally ill, bro, okay? I wasn't a mentally ill vegan, okay? I represented the vegan community when I was a vegan. I represented it very well, okay? But then when I got sick, I had to wake up, bro. I had to wake up. That's why right after that, what did I start talking about, you guys? I started talking about drinking raw milk, right? I started talking about, making raw cheese from raw milk, didn't I? So what actually made my health bounce back? It wasn't fruits and vegetables, okay? It was the raw milk. It was the raw cheese. Okay. That's what made my health bounce back because that's exactly what I went to after a vegan diet. And guess what? Ever since then, okay, we're talking about, what was that, about 13 years ago, 14 years ago? I have been on this diet since. Okay. I have never gone back to full vegan. Okay. I've been, for the most part, vegetarian, and now I'm in my plant-based era. And I eat my plant-based era with some cooked foods. Okay, I eat the tofu. I eat my salads. Okay, I indulge in my greens, my leafy greens. I eat all of my fruits, but I also have a balance, and I understand that I have to take care of. So I'm still eating my goat milk. I'm still eating my goat cheese. I'm still eating my raw milk. I'm still eating raw cheese. Okay, kefir, okay, yogurts, because I understand the balance that I'm supposed to have in the body, okay? And this is what I want you guys to understand before you get caught up in that vegan rhetoric that's out there on the internet, man. To understand, don't ever call yourself vegan. Just say that you don't eat animals and you don't promote eating animals, okay? And you give your reason why that you're not vegan, okay? You give your reason why that you don't eat animals, okay? But you must understand, like I've told you 5 or 10 times already in this stream, that you got to have a balance of gut bacteria, okay? That's why you can never be vegan. And you've never heard me say that. I get on my family members because they try to call me vegan. I get on my family members and friends that try to tell me that I eat vegan. I am not vegan. I don't eat vegan. Stop saying that shit, okay? I've never said that. I eat plant-based, okay? I eat vegetarian, okay? I am not a vegan. And the reason why is because I've already learned from 8 years of experience of trying to be a vegan why you can't be vegan, okay? You can't do it, bro. It's impossible. In America, it's impossible because I just told you why it's impossible, because the depleted soil that we have here, okay, the hybridized foods that we have here, okay, you are never going to be able to eat the full spectrum that you need. It's impossible, Okay, they did that for a reason because they want to push you eating more meat, which is still going to give you the same degenerate diseases at the end of the day. So this is why it's a finite balance in between your diet on what you're supposed to eat. And I'm trying to show you guys, based off of my experience on my 12, 13 years of studying health hardcore and being a freaking guinea pig for 8 years of my life, that I found the truth. And I understand on how I can balance and still not eat animals and still lend a helping hand in this world and stop all the animal suffering. That's the most commendable part about what I'm doing. And that should be commended. And it shouldn't be looked down upon because I'm giving other people information that might be in transition from the eating all this meat to a more plant-based diet. And I'm trying to get them to understand that in order to do this and them not compromise their health, that the one and most important thing that they're going to have to do is make sure they have a good balance of good gut bacteria. That bad bacteria is the biggest no-no that you're going to have in your whole life, man. If they're not eating the foods that they need, your body is going to attack you, okay? I'm telling you, your body's going to go do your research, go ask any doctor. I'm telling you, bro. If you decide to go off of all of that, this diet that we have been on, and they do not get to eat, okay, they're going to attack you, and they will literally take your life, okay? So that's all I really wanted to tell you guys, man. I appreciate all you guys that came up in here, man. Oh, that's what's up, bro. Because it's the facts, bro. He said, why you keep typing in cats? Because that's narcissism, bro. That's narcissistic, man. That's mental illness. And again, bro, I love everybody, man. This is why I never kicked him out. This is why I never, checked him at all. I like the man. I still like the man, but you're not going to come up in here and disrespect me on my platform, bro. You've lost your damn mind, man. You lost your damn mind. And anybody that got eyes to see, man, can look at what you look like, bro, and understand that you don't look healthy, man. And you might want to check into that, bro. Okay. I'm telling you, okay. I look healthy, bro. You're not very much older than me, man. And I look probably a good 30 years younger than you. Is because I didn't ignore what my body told me that it needed. My body told me that it needed a balance of good and bad gut bacteria. And that's what I decided to do, okay? And that's why I have never given up my raw milk. This is why I've never given up my raw cheese. This is why I've never given up my goat milk. This is why I've never given up my goat cheese. This is why I've never given up my kefir. Because when I didn't have those things and those things were absent from my diet, I was very sickly, okay? And I was very weak, all right? And look, I'm not trying to say that you should be concerned about what people think about you, but there's a big difference when you get to a point where you're so sickly and weak and you can't even support your own weight, and every time you lift something you get an injury, or every time you go do anything with extreme exercising you're always sore because your body doesn't have what it needs to recover, man. And again, this is all stuff that people would know and understand if they truly paid attention to their body and they truly did research and studied on what the body truly needs, and understanding the concept of where you live and where you reside. Okay, we understand we live in a place where we shouldn't have to do this, but we have to do this in order to get to our next stop in our lives. Okay, and that's ascension. And this is why I don't promote the overeating. This is why I don't promote being gluttonous. This is why I don't promote, indulging in any type of animal foods, because, you only take what you need, and what you need should be very little on your plate, if any. And that's all I said. That's all I said. Okay. That's the perfect advice for people out there who, like I said, inherit all sorts of health issues in their life. They're not going to be able to go cold turkey and go on a freaking vegan diet. They're going to die. And again, this is why I'm a teacher. This is why he's not. This is why he's a student in the class. This is why he's got mental, obviously, problems going on in his life. And I hope he does better. I hope he looks into it. And I hope he understands, man, that this is just what it is. And congratulations to you if you really believe that you can go around this and this doesn't affect your life. I highly doubt that. But if you think you found a way and you think you can go around all of this, then hey, man, more power to you. Okay. That doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. It just means more power to you that you made it. Okay. You didn't have to go through what everybody else's body has to go through. Okay. But from what I've learned and from the people I've spoken with and all the different communities that I've been a part of and all the different experiences that I've gone through in my life, there is no way you can survive on a vegan diet. It's just impossible, bro. And anybody that's telling you about that is lying. Okay. They're lying. They're getting injections. They're getting shots. They're taking probiotics. They're taking some form of animal product, bro. Listen, man. Or like I said, they're one of these lucky 1% people out there that have a farm of undepleted land and they got all these exotic fruits and vegetables that they grow at their own expense and they can eat that way. Then of course, and then you're gonna have some success there as well. But bro, that's just like that success is like comparing to somebody on semen retention, which is less than 1%. So you're not going to have very much success as far as that goes. Now, eggs is controversial, Del Hart. Eggs is controversial. And what do I mean by eggs is controversial? If you're buying any store-bought eggs, controversial. Now, if you have your own chicken feed, okay, and you have your own free range and you're eating the eggs that way, okay, I would say everything with moderation. I'd say, yes, there's going to be some benefits there, but if you eat too much of a good thing of anything, you're going to have some issues. Yes, there's tons of things in our eggs that can cause cons inside of your body. But again, what have we just been talking about this whole time? Take what you need, right? Take what you need. Stop trying to feed your ego. Stop trying to be a meathead. Stop trying to follow what societies do. Stop worrying about protein intake. Stop worrying about all these little stupid things and take what you need to sustain you before you can get the hell up out of here, okay? In one piece, without leaving a nasty footprint, without leaving a whole trail of karma behind you. I talk about how to become your highest version, bro. I talk about how to become on the highest path, okay? And the way that you do that is to take what you need, not anything more. So if you can eat some eggs, a couple eggs a week, yeah, go ahead, bro. Do your thing. But don't depend on anything like that. Anything that has that bears life, I wouldn't be dependent on that, man, because that's not what we're supposed to be getting into. We're not supposed to be taking advantage of stuff like that. But I have no problem with people eating eggs, man. Okay, but again, just make sure you're doing everything in moderation. Truth Broadcaster says, a man who retains wouldn't be so conspicuous, is how you say that, and emotional. Capricious and emotional. Bro, I feel you, man. I feel you. And that's what I know. He's never mentioned how many days he's been on. Okay, I'm just going to keep it 1,000. We're going to get off this man because I'm not trying to give him all this attention. But he's never once said how many days he's been on, which, he says he's been retaining. He says he's had a girlfriend. But again, I don't even contribute it all to that. I contribute this down to a mental illness, like my man Gotis said. Bro, it's true. Bro, we know why. I've just explained why. Go ask any doctor what is happening when someone is completely absent of having balance of good gut bacteria and bad gut bacteria. Go ask what happens to them. Go ask on how quickly the cognitive decline sets in when you do this and it goes unchecked. I've already done the research, bro. I've already read all the articles. I've seen all the videos. And then I've also had my own testing on myself for 8 years. This is why I will never, ever, ever recommend a vegan diet. You've never heard me do that, bro, because I learned that that's not vegan. Okay, that's not vegan. Eating animal products is not vegan. Let me say this last thing before I get out of here. Think about how old school people used to grow up. They used to have farms, right? I want you to think about this. This is how you know how health is supposed to be. This is how you know that vegan was never natural. Okay, I want you to think about it. These old school people who grew up, they had farms, they had chickens, they had hens, they had cows, they had pigs, they had all sorts of different things. And again, I'm not trying to say that all of these things were edible, okay? But I want you to think about what they had, okay? And I want you to think about how healthy these people were, how healthy their guts were. Okay, these people used to live for a very, very long time, bro. I got ancestors, I got family members, bro, that grew up in this era that are, some of them are still alive to this day. And that's because of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria they've developed over the years of eating that diet. There is a staple to that diet, bro. And the staple to that diet is what? Microbiome, what you get from animals. This is why we're supposed to lead the animals and not eat the animals, okay? We fell off because we started eating all the damn animals, okay? And again, that causes the same degenerate diseases as being absent of having good microbiome. This is why I preach eat a balanced diet. And when I mean balanced, I mean literally the smallest portion on your plate should be that. But again, that has changed in this world, and we know everything is opposite. Everything down here, okay, has been inverted, and everything down here has been changed, okay? Now we're eating more of that, and we're eating smaller portions of the fruits and the veggies, and this is where we are falling into health problems, okay? Because we're overeating on something that we're not supposed to be indulging in, okay, spiritually and physically. And this is why I point back to that time where people had farms, because they were only eating what they had. They couldn't just eat up everything. They didn't have, the foods at our fingertips where they could go out and indulge and overeat, and the restaurants and the fast foods, dude. They didn't have all that, okay? When they did eat those foods, it was in what, my people? Very small portions. And that's what we need to get back to as far as getting our health back to optimal. There ain't nothing wrong with you can't get down to it, bro. But again, that's a karmatic lesson that you're gonna have to learn, bro. And the simple fact that you would want to pronounce that just shows you that you're not very far in your spirituality journey, bro. Okay, that's not something that you want to be clowning around with. Okay, that's a no-no, bro. Eating animals is a no-no, bro. And you should be, like I said, you should only be eating it, to the point that what you need to survive. And someone speaking like you're speaking is saying that that's probably the majority of your diet, and you're going to have some karmic lessons that you're going to have to deal with, bro. And that could reside on things as like reincarnation. So I would be very careful if I were you, okay? I'm just telling you the truth, bro. I have nothing against you. This is all love. This is all love, bro. Okay, this is all love. All right. That is something that you're going to have to look into, man, and be very careful on the way you think, man, because again, reincarnation is a bitch. You can be reincarnated into an animal, and you could live that life, bro, of being slaughtered and killed and slaughtered and killed and slaughtered and killed and slaughtered and killed, bro, for a long time to come until you learn that lesson. So I would tell you to be very careful, understand, like I said, where we live, where we reside, and take what you need, bro. Okay, stop the greed, man. Stop the greed, bro. Take what you need, and you don't need to be out here eating like you're eating, man, where you think you have the confidence to say that I don't believe in plant-based. You're going to be believing in something. You're going to be believing in reincarnation. Okay, you're going to be believing in not ascending. Okay, you keep thinking that this world down here is a joke, bro. You're the one who's going to be shooken when you go to them crossroads and you understand on what you've been doing your whole life. Okay, you're supposed to be down here learning. This is what we're doing. We're learning. How do you survive? How do you get up out of here without leaving a huge, nasty footprint on the world, bro? Okay? This is why it's a learning realm. This is why it's called school. You're learning, bro. And you're learning by being in this live stream, okay, on how to be a good person and how to have balance. You don't want to be overbalanced, man. Okay. You don't want to be somebody who's not balanced. Okay. There's nothing good about that, man. There is a real thing called karma, bro. Believe me, man. Believe me. And you want to try to learn your lessons down here, man. Okay. And like I said, man, if you're promoting anything otherwise, man, then you're either an NPC or you're a soulless person. You're not real. Okay. Because you're supposed to be learning down here on how to conduct yourself with creation. Okay. You're not supposed to be consuming all creation, bro. I'm sorry to disappoint you. And again, I'm not attacking you. I'm just telling you what the truth is. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, look, bro, if he just went and relaxed and probably ate a cheese pizza, bro, a real cheese pizza and not the fake, synthetic, fake cheese that all vegans eat. Listen, this is the problem with vegan, bro. They give you more synthetics than real food, bro. So you're actually being counterproductive of being a vegan because now you're not even eating real cheese, bro. Everything that you eat, bro, got so many different chemicals in it that you can't even pronounce it, bro. Okay. Or if you're not doing that, like I said, then you're a raw vegan, which I already know that's cap. Because if you're a raw vegan, bro, you're really malnutrition, man. Okay. And again, you can tell I'm not being mean. Okay. I'm just telling you the truth. You can look at him and you can tell, bro, that the man is malnutrition. You can look and tell that the man is not getting all his nutrients and minerals, bro. You can tell that the man does not have a good gut balance of bacteria. I can look at you and tell, bro. I've been doing this for a very long time, man. All right. I can look at anyone and tell what they're missing. All right. And just the simple fact that he so proudly pronounces and he's so radical about pronouncing that he's vegan, then of course, man, then that's what it is. Okay. He's missing out on the very things that's going to keep him healthy. All right. I'm not promoting that he go get a piece of damn steak, but it ain't going to hurt him. It ain't going to hurt him. Okay. You need that for your bad back bacteria, bro. That's what's keeping you alive, bro. That's what's producing the B12s, all the different things inside of your body, bro. People don't understand these things, and they think that they can go be a supplement junkie. Again, taking you further out of what's naturally supposed to be happening inside the body. Again, this is what veganism does, okay? This is why it's very unhealthy. This is why it's very unsafe. Okay, because now you've turned into a supplement junkie instead of getting everything naturally like you're supposed to have. And this is why I preach don't do vegan. Okay, it's okay to have some vegan foods every now and then, but don't promote the vegan thing. Just say I don't eat the animals and I'm just going to eat what I need. Okay, I'm not going to be a person out here that's just going to be indulging and overeating and contributing to all of, like I said, the sacrifices, all the torment, all the, factory farming. You're just going to be one of those people, man, who is looking above and doing the right thing. You're actually being a true good person, and that's going to be rewarded, bro, when you leave this body. Remember, when you leave this body, you're going to be judged. I don't care if none of you fools out there don't believe it. That's your fault for not listening to a person up here who is appointed to give you the real on these topics. Okay. I'm telling you, you don't want to have that karma on you, bro. You don't want to have that attitude where you think that you can just do whatever the hell you want, bro. You're going to be judged, bro. And depending on how bad of a person it is that you were is going to dictate on what the hell you come back as or come back at all. I am not playing no games with y'all, bro. I'm telling you the truth. This is why I tell you, take what you effing need and move on, okay? That doesn't mean go and indulge. That doesn't mean become a meathead and go lifting weights. Again, you being deceived, you being coerced by a fake society of people who are obviously are not going to make it, and they're dragging you down in the same rhetoric, okay, that they're in. This is what this world is good for, okay? It's good at getting other people to join them in hell. And I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to understand that there's a real finite line there that you have to find a perfect balance. And guess what? You're not going to be judged for that, okay? But you are going to be judged for being a dumbass. You are going to be judged for being greedy, okay? You are going to be judged from being someone who has those types of traits, man, okay? And this is what I'm trying to push you away from. I'm trying to push you away from how to be a good person. Because guess what? If you're a greedy person, if you overeat, if you're concerned with ego, you think you're going to be a good leader? Look at the leadership we have in this world, okay? So when you talk so profoundly and you talk so boldly about you don't do the animals things, that already signifies on what kind of person you are, and that's not a very good person. That doesn't look good on you, bro. Okay, you're talking to someone I can see all, bro. You're talking to a damn master up here. That doesn't look good on you, man. Okay, And that signifies the type of personality traits that you have as a person. And I just told you, just because you don't see it yet, partner, just because you don't understand that what happens to your ass when you leave this body doesn't mean it ain't going to happen. Okay. And you're going to be on the first trip right back here or not, depending on how you decide to be. And this is the whole balance that I'm trying to teach people. You can still be able to experience down here and do the things that you want, but do them in moderation. Who is that? JWS says, Lion King, I told him something wrong with him and he banned me for no reason. I know that. Listen, I'm going to apologize, bro. Before I go, I'm going to apologize, man, again, for his actions and the things that he has done. I'm sorry that you guys had to experience that. I never expected him to be like this, bro. I never expected him to be like this, man. And like I said, it completely caught me off guard too, man. And I understand now why that he's been going through, the comment section and removing people without justification. Okay. I understand now. Okay. I can see why, because that's what veganism does, bro. It turns you into a radical. It makes you push your views upon people. And again, that doesn't make him any higher vibrational. That doesn't make him above anybody else. We're all down here trying to figure out what is going on in this game called life. Okay. That is unacceptable behavior, man. Okay. And again, I apologize to everybody that experienced that, and that will be no more. Okay. I've already added a couple new moderators as we speak. So hopefully, this next group of guys that I have coming in moderating are going to understand my values and the way that I think, and we'll be good from that point out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he did, Steven, man. I don't know if you were in here, Steven, but man, I can't believe he said that stuff to me, bro. And I didn't even know. I honestly didn't even know. I was just going on with my stream. I was just talking about the different things that, that I wholeheartedly believe that are the facts, because on my experience and the different literature that I was reading, it was nothing disrespectful. I didn't call Jim out. I didn't point anything out about him. I was just telling the truth. And I even said, before I got into all of it, I said, listen, some of you vegans and vegetarians out there are not going to understand exactly what I'm saying, but I'm not saying it to try to upset you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth about how the body works, and to understand that everybody is not going to be able to do what we do. Okay. Some of us, have good genetics, and some of us can go around this lifestyle, but many of us other people, man, are not going to be able to do that. Okay. We're going to have to wean off different things as, slowly as possible. And all I'm trying to do is to get people to understand on what's happening down here, the karma that they could possibly have. Okay. And to, how to get through this matrix as best way as possible without leaving a big digital footprint. Okay. Without leaving a whole bunch of karma behind, and without having a whole bunch of heaviness on you when it comes to judgment time. This is all I'm doing. Okay. Perfect advice, man. Okay. Take it as you will. But I promise you, the one thing that you will not get away with is overindulging. The one thing that you will not get away with is greed. Okay. We talked about the 7 deadly sins. We've talked about everything. Do not think, okay, that you are not going to be held to these rules, because you are. Okay. This is the rules of the world. Okay. This is the rules of the universe. All right. And we're supposed to be down here, like I said, in the school to learn how to properly conduct ourselves as good human beings so we can ascend to the heavens. Okay. Because again, this stuff that we're doing down here is a test. We will not be eating these animals in heavens. We're going to have a diet that is going to be able to suffice for whatever we need. Okay. This is a learning ground to basically put a division between the good and the bad people, the people who need to be reset and the people who need to evolve. This is what this is all about. And I'm telling you guys, man, just continue to do what's right. You all inherently know what's right, okay? We all know what to properly eat, okay? We all know that we can't just overindulge on animals, okay? Because we've already seen what's going on in our society. We see the 3D printed meat, we see the fake meats, okay? We see all the different stuff that's going on with the meats. We understand that, McDonald's and all these different places, no way that they can all have real meat. We're waking up from that. And now we're understanding that we're only going to take what we need and take the portions that we need to survive. And that's all I want you guys to understand. Yeah, bro, I do consultations. Just contact me in the comment section of the video, man, and I'll get you the information, bro. Jim does not want to fight me, bro. That's just a joke, bro. Jim does not want to fight me, bro. That would not even be a fight, man. I hear you, true, but that's not for real, bro. Yes, bro. Judah, that's another good point, bro. He says, "What do you think about consuming castor oil to remove parasites from the stomach?" I absolutely agree. I use castor oil to actually do that, in fact. Okay. But here's what I want you to understand too, Judah. Be very careful with removing any type of parasites from your body. Okay. All parasites aren't bad. Okay. This is where they tricked us, man. They got us to fear things that only live short cycles in our bodies, and then they get excreted by the digestive system once once their service has been served. They leave and they die out. Okay, all parasites are not bad. Some parasites are strictly born and hatch inside of you when certain amount of cellular waste needs to be removed, and once they've served their purpose, they die off. They're excreted by the digestive system. So some of them are needed, some of them are not. Now, in a society that we live in today, we understand that parasites are directly put in some of our foods, and they are there to cause harm. So I would recommend being very careful with castor oil because it is very strong. And when you take it internally, bro, that can cause a lot of disruption to your good and your bad gut bacteria. So what I recommend to do with castor oil instead of taking it internally is I would recommend castor oil packs. I would recommend putting castor oil around the belly button. I would recommend putting castor oil on the bottom of the soles of your feet and letting it be absorbed transdermally. And that way, it's not such a harsh backlash that you're going to get on your intestinal gut. Okay. It's not going to cause a whole bunch of disturbances. It's going to be absorbed naturally, bro. And it's going to be able to do the exact same thing. The next thing that I would recommend you to do is try to find something that is less as, extensive as castor oil. You got wormwood, you got plenty of other things that you could take, man, that are going to be very gentler on the stomach, because castor oil, in my experiences, I've used castor oil quite a bit. I still use it, but I don't take it internally. I like I said, I apply it on castor packs, and I put those directly either on my stomach, on my liver, okay, on a kidney area, on the bottom of my feet, okay. I even use it in the hair sometimes, but you don't need to take that internally. And understand, you don't have to kill all the good, things that are inside of your body, because they're there for a reason, okay. Don't let them scare you and get you to, kill off all the good stuff in your body that's protecting you, because like I said, most of these parasites have a short duration of life, and they are excreted by your body naturally. Now, if you've been eating meats, if you're scared because you've been eating meats for a very long time and that's a reason to do a good detox, like I said, I would look into other things that are less harsh on the stomach, because castor oil can be really tough. You're funny, bro. You're funny, bro. There you go. There you go, Steven. That's exactly what you can look into. I forgot to mention those. Pumpkin seed, definitely. Oregano is definitely. Oregano would probably be the number one thing for me. That's what I would tell you guys to take if you have any parasite problems. Oregano is going to be your strongest, thing that you can take that removes parasites. And like I said, it's not going to be very harmful in your gut. That castor oil, bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's pretty tough on your gut, man, and it could cause some major disruptions down there. So only way I would use that is, like I said, on the skin transdermally. That's right, bro. He is vegan, but he doesn't look very healthy. He doesn't look very healthy, bro. And like I said, I have nothing against Jim. I'm not going to take it any further than this. I know he doesn't want to fight, okay, because that would not be a fight. It would not be fun. I don't want to hurt anybody. That is not my objective here, okay? It's going to take more than that for me to fight somebody, okay? It's going to take what these people are actually doing to me, because I'm actually teaching the real on this YouTube and in the retention community for me to go fight somebody, okay? You would have to really provoke me to fight you. I'm not going to fight somebody over a petty argument or a disagreement. That's just not who I am. He said, Lion King, you gotta ban all the people he banned for no reason at all, commenting, he gets deleted. I will look into that, bro. I promise you I'll do that. I will look into that after this stream. I'm not sure exactly who he's banned, but I know there's been quite a few people, and I never questioned him. I never asked why he did those things. But like I said, I had plenty of people that come in here and feel like they were moved wrongfully. And I promise you, man, I'll look into that. Truth and Broadcaster says, my diet is 90% fruits and veggies, nuts, dark chocolate, 10% dairy, red percent meat. There you go. See? There you go. I ain't even mad at that, okay? Because you got the correct balance, okay? You got the correct balance. You only need very little meat to sustain your body, bro. Again, you're in a place where you're not supposed to be indulging in this, guys, okay? This is a take what you need world, okay? And anything more than that, you're going to be judged on. Listen to me. If you're going to listen to anything that I've said on this whole stream today, trust my words, bro, because I promise you they're true and they're real. You are going to be judged for what you did down here, and that including to all the creation. So if you think that you're going to get away with just being a greed bot, eating all these damn animals, you have another thing coming, bro. You have another thing coming. You're supposed to be learning down here. You're supposed to be leaving the smallest footprint as possible. You're on a short stay down here, man, okay? And you want to leave less karma behind as possible, okay? This is not your home, bro, okay? This is a place that you're supposed to be learning. And so many of you have failed miserably over and over. Some of you guys have been down here for too many lifetimes, man. It's time for you to get the hell up out of here, man. It's time for you to understand on what's going on down here in this world, man, okay? Use your brain. And if you can't use your brain, then you better figure out why you can't use your brain. Okay, you better practice retention. You better practice celibacy. You better practice eating a clean diet. You better figure out something, man, for your brain to work, because there is no excuse that you can't vibrate and harmonize on everything that I've been saying here and understanding, man. That's what's called balance. Okay, and you're supposed to have a balance in this lifetime. And if you don't have a balance, man, you get judged hardcore. I'm telling you. So just do me a favor, man. Don't overindulge, practice balance in your life, and watch how your whole life change. I promise you. Three years this August, just turned 60, vegetarian 9 years, eggs are good for chlorine and the brain needs it, but small amounts. See, everything that I've just told you. Everything that I just told you, this is he's doing it perfectly. This is exactly basic what I've been doing. Okay, I still consume eggs every now and then, but it's very little, and I mean very little. I mean, I eat pancakes and stuff like that, so that has my eggs in it, but I don't really just eat eggs. Eggs is one of those things I just don't just make scrambled egg. I don't do that no more. But I do have pancakes from time to time. I do have some French toast from time to time. And again, these are all things that I'm eating with a balance, man. I'm not just overindulging this. I'm not eating this every day, okay? I'm taking care of my body. I'm eating everything in balance. I have a protocol out in front of me on certain things that I eat on certain days. And yes, some days I slip up. Some days I'm human. I still eat pizza. I still eat, some bread from time to time. But again, I'm very balanced in what I do, and I fast so much that my body eliminates so much stuff. This is the key. This is the key to your health. This is the key to your vitality. Fast, my people. And then all the stuff that you eat, your body is going to be such a wrecking machine when it comes to digestion that you're going to eliminate any waste that you have in your body. And this is all I'm proving to you guys, okay? This is how you have that balance that you want. This is how you have that body that you want, the energy you want without being sick, okay? Because this is what this is all about, a balance, man. No one should ever be sick. I don't care if they got sick people all around you. I don't care if your family members are sick. If you are eating the correct foods, if you are fasting the correct amount of time, bro, you will never get sick. So when you see somebody that's sick, okay, I'm telling you the truth. When you see somebody sick, they're doing something wrong in their balance, in their diet, okay? If you see somebody sick, they're doing something wrong in their balance, in their diet. Or they were sick and they were poisoned intentionally. Okay, that's the only other way that they can get sick, bro. If you were really fasting and you were really eating like these 1 meal a day, like I was teaching you guys at the beginning of this, you will never get sick. I put that on everything. That's right, bro. He said, great grandma in Africa is 117. I think they just eat good animal based foods. They do. And that's what they do. Listen, in Africa too, they're pretty radical. There's a whole bunch of people that are going to be reincarnating over there too. But for the most part, man, like you said, they eat pretty good animal based foods. And I noticed that, when I was in Spokane, when I used to live over there, I used to go to this African place and they specialized in so many appetizers that were animal based. It was one of their main staples. It's one of the reasons why they contribute to growing so tall and so healthy was consuming raw milk and cheeses. So again, I already know what the secret is. Okay, the secret is making sure your microchrome gut bacteria is healthy and you're not, overindulging in acidic foods and you're feeding them the proper balance that they need, bro. That's how the body grows. That is how the body grows. What do you think when cows are born and the cow is getting the milk from his mother? What do you think is one of the main contributors that is making sure that cow grows nice and big? How many stomachs do cows have? Why do you think cows, digest the food so well? It's because they have the bacteria, and that good bacteria comes from that raw milk. All right. I'm telling you, especially all the colostrum, all the proteins, all the good stuff that you get in raw milk, bro. Listen, I know they try to hit you with that. You're not an animal. Humans are the only animals that, that drink other animals' milk and all that crap. Listen, yes, that's true saying. But what I want you to understand is, until they are to come out with mother's breast milk and we can go to the store, bro, and we can have some of that chocolate mother's breast milk or some of that strawberries mother's breast milk. Until then, bro, the next best option that we have for a superfood is the cows, bro. Okay, is the goats, bro. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, until we have that option, it is what it is. Okay, and this is all I want you guys to understand. There's nothing wrong with consuming these products, okay? Because at the very core of this thing, these animals, not all these animals, you got to be careful. Go get your stuff from farms. Go get your stuff from farmers markets. Try to avoid these big corporations because these big corporations are the ones that have all these factory farming, and that's where the animals get mistreated. Okay. But if you're going to the section and in these Whole Food stores where they have, like I said, this raw milk, raw cheese, more than likely you're getting this from a very nice farm, okay? And where the animals are not being mistreated, okay? So this is definitely going to be good for your health. Do not be ashamed of consuming these foods, okay? I'm telling you, do not be ashamed of. They're going to benefit your health, I promise you. Look into some raw milk, okay? Raw milk. I like to drink the A1, A2, depending on where you're at. There's A1 and A2, depending on where you're at. You want to look at the label and make sure it's A1, A2, and you want to make sure it's raw milk. You want to get yourself some raw cheese, okay? You want to get yourself some goat milk. That's even better. Goat milk is even better. If you can find yourself some good organic goat milk, some farm-raised goat milk, that's even better. Some goat cheese, that's even better. Again, if you're getting these places from farmers markets, good whole food places, these animals are being treated well, okay? These animals are being well taken care of. And because of that, you're going to get that same nutrition out of it. Facts. That's what I've been trying to tell them. I'm glad somebody else came in here and said the same thing. And I've said that. I know. Listen, I know what I say doesn't go on deaf ears. And again, I'm planting the seed, and eventually the Most High will speak to every single one of these people watching the video, and they will understand that eating animals is not the way, bro. Okay, you're supposed to be taking what you need. Okay, again, taking what you need. I'm telling you that in most cases, you're going to need to eat something, okay? But take what you need. Avoid the foods that you're not supposed to be eating. You're not supposed to be eating the food of the sea. You're not supposed to be eating the shrimp. You're not supposed to be eating all this crap with parasites in it, because that's going to pollute your body. Eat the good, clean animals. I hate to even say it like that, but eat the good, clean animals, man. Okay, eat the animals that are farm raised. Eat the animals that are going to be parasitic free for the most part. Okay, take what you need, but understand, like he just said, when you eat animals, I already warned you. Okay, I'll give you this one last warning. You keep eating those animals, and I'm telling you what's going to happen to you. Okay, you better not ignore the messenger. Okay, I'm telling you what's going to happen to you. So just try to eat what you need. Okay, don't overindulge. You can still get big muscles, bro. You don't need to eat beef. You can go and drink a whole thing of raw milk, bro. You know what raw milk's going to do to you? You know how much good fat's in raw milk? Do you know how much colostrum is in raw milk? Do you know how much protein's in raw milk? Do you know how much proteins in raw cheese and goat milk? I'm telling you, you don't need to eat all that, bro. You just have to eat the products, man. And I'm telling you, you're going to get the same benefits. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Go out and try this. Go out and get yourself some of these things and start incorporating them into your diet and watch how your whole life change. You're right, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and drop the knowledge, man. You're telling the truth, bro. Yes, bro. Absolutely right. Should we let go of earthly desires to not being reincarnated? Exactly. That's what this whole thing is about. This is what this whole thing's about, bro. Is, like I said, man, is if you want to get out of here, if you like it here, go ahead, stay here. If you like taking a SHIT, if you like working a 9 to 5, if you like being in WARs, this is hell. This is the fallen's realm. And until the Most High come back and do what he's going to do with this realm, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a place where people are going to have to come down here and learn. And you're supposed to be uncomfortable down here. You're supposed to see all these truths, and you should want to do better. Okay. And this is not it, because all of us were given the truth at a very young age. All of us have been to Bible studies. We've been to Sunday schools. We understand where we live. We understand, bro, that there's a place called heaven, bro. We understand. Okay. So you shouldn't be wanting to have any attachments here, especially knowing that you can't bring any of this with you when you're gone. You can't bring any of this with you when you're gone. Only thing you're going to be bringing with you is the karma that you left and created behind, bro. That is it. Okay, this is why I'm trying to tell you, man, just do your best, because I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody. I don't know what situation you're in. I don't know if you're dirt poor and the only thing that you can afford is to get free hamburgers at McDonald's. I don't know. I can't judge you. all I'm sitting here telling you is just to understand, man, on what is going on down here. Okay. We're all going to be judged differently. But if you're one of the people down here that have the opportunity to do better because you knew better, then do that, man, because that's going to help you in the end. The green stuff. Well, it's not what it used to be. If you find some homegrown stuff, I stopped smoking. Yep, bro, I did too. I stopped smoking it, man. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I get out of here, this green stuff we see on the screen, I can't say the name because they start messing with the stream. So the green stuff, man, again, which blows me because Mr. Jim is an advocate smoker. Okay, he would tell me he blazed all the damn time, which would also prove to me that he's off on what you're supposed to be doing with green. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you you can't smoke it. Again, I told you do everything in moderation. You're down here to experience, so smoke your stuff if that's what you want to do. But if you want to use what green is truly created for, it's created to eliminate almost every single disease in the body. If you find yourself some good, or you grow yourself some good, organic, chemical-free, non-GMO seeded green, bro, you are supposed to eat this. It's supposed to be an edible, and it will have double effects. It'll make you feel good and stoned, and it'll also, like I said, help you with any degenerate diseases in the body. This is what it's supposed to be used for, okay? It was never supposed to be rolled up in backwoods. It was never supposed to be added to a flame of butane, okay, all those different chemicals, because as soon as you take the butane, you're inhaling the chemicals of the butane, and then you're lighting the wrapper with the butane, which the butane ignites the wrapper of nicotine, and it pulls out, 16, 15 different chemicals, and now you're inhaling that into your lungs, and that's damaging your lungs, that's damaging your organs of your brain, that is damaging the connection between you and the divine. This is where we lost our ways, and I'm not trying to sit here and tell you you can't do it, but understanding the cleanest way possible to do anything, okay? If you're going to be out there blazing it up, man, make sure it's some good organic paper, bro. Make sure you can find something that is not butane, okay? And try to find a different way to consume it, man, because like I said, man, all the stuff that we are doing, it's dangerous and poisonous to the body, and I'm not trying to tell you you can't do it, again, in moderation, but we know many people out there that are on the good green, they're not doing that in moderation, bro. I used to smoke, bro. I know I used to do it every single day. Soon as I wake up, I took a mid-halftime break during the day, would hit one during the halftime day, hit one at night, okay, and then repeat the same thing in the morning. I did that for years. Okay, so I already know, bro, that we're not doing that in discipline. But I'm telling you, if you want to find the very best benefits, trust me on this one. We don't talk about this enough, bro. But that is one of the most healing herbs that there is. But you have to eat it. So make yourself some brownies. Make yourself some kind of edibles, okay? Something with some natural ingredients in it, man. And I'm telling you, man, you're still gonna get the sensation of feeling super stoned, bro. But it's gonna be having a medicinal purpose, man, in your life, man, where it's gonna be helping any ill alignments that you have in your body. And trust me on this, man. If you're out there and you're on that green, man, try to eat it for once. Try to do something natural. And I promise you, man, you're gonna see some amazing changes in your life with your health. Yes, bro. Facts, Eric. Collagen power, colostrum power, protein power, organic milk. Bro, you said it, bro. I love my colostrum powder, bro. I love my organic milk, bro. And basically, that collagen too, bro, you can get the same thing out of that raw milk, bro. It provides the exact same thing, man. So you won't go wrong if you go out here, man, and like I said, you find yourself a good farmer and you find yourself some A1, A2 raw milk. I'm telling you, go find it. Go find it. Pay whatever. I know it's gotten bloody expensive, man. I used to pay, what did I used to pay? I used to pay like $10 for a gallon. And now it's up damn near $20-something for a gallon. Because, like I said, it's one of the most accessible superfoods out there. And a lot of people are starting to know about it because we already know that the store-bought milk is poisonous. We already know it's been homogenized. We already know, bro, that it's depleted of any good bacteria in it. That's what homogenized and heat treatment is, okay? It basically just give you milk that is just sugar. And this is why everybody that consumes that store-bought milk has a gut. Okay, they have, you know, lactose problems. Okay, they have some kind of issues with their stomachs because that's what the store-bought milk does. So if I could give you a warning, guys, I'm gonna tell you this, man. If I could give you a warning, stay away from the store-bought milk. Go and find yourself some raw milk. Go find yourself some raw goat milk, and I promise you, you will never have any kind of health issues with the gut ever again. Yes. Yes, Stephen. Absolute facts. He said SR will help you get off of the green and smoking and vaping. It did, bro. And it helped me break it cold turkey. You know why? I'm glad you said that, Stephen. You know why? Because of the discipline that you get from SR is, bro, it's unmatched. If you are able to resist one of the hardest temptations in this world, which is that satisfaction of releasing yourself. We all have that issue, bro. That satisfaction of feeling good, bro. That discipline transfers over to many different parts of your life, bro. And I was able to quit cold turkey so many times off of green. And I had been smoking consistently for years, bro. Consistently, bro. And sometimes I thought I would never be able to give it up. But because I have been doing retention for so much of my life, bro. Every time it came to quit, I was able to quit cold turkey in one day, okay? And that is very hard to do, especially if you've been vaping, because vaping is some of the most potent stuff that you're getting. You're getting, bro, the man, when you're vaping, you guys need to understand this, bro. If you're out there vaping that green, bro, it's going to be pretty hard for you to quit, man, okay? It's so potent. It's so strong, bro. And the stuff that you're going to get from trying to come off of it, man, you're going to find yourself going back to it over and over again because it's so potent and it's so strong. So let me tell you what I did, bro. Like I said, I cut off all avenues to pleasure. And if you can do that, I'm telling you, man, you'll be able to quit anything. I don't care what kind of problem you have. I don't care if it's the stuff you put up your nose. I don't care what it is, bro. If you can develop the discipline and sexual discipline, I'm telling you, there is nothing that you cannot do in this world. I promise you that, okay? You just got to get started because, like I said, once you start to do this, man, you're going to start cleaning up every area of your life. And I put that on everything. Yes, that's what's up, bro. He says, when I consumed the smallest homemade gummy, I was on the verge messed me up for 3 hours. Yeah, bro, you sound like you got some potent ass stuff, man. Damn, bro. I never had that problem. I don't mess with gummies. I get my own stuff, man. I get my own hash and I make brownies, bro. And whew, there's nothing like I love brownies, bro. Brownies is one of my favorite things. This is why I will never be vegan. I love brownies, bro. Brownies, bro. I could eat brownies every day, bro. And I remember I used to make my brownies, man, with my hash in it, bro. And I'm telling you, man, the single-handedly best treat ever, man. There's nothing like being stoned, eating some brownies, bro. So if you're out there, man, and you truly want to feel good on the green stuff and you truly want to get the benefits that you're supposed to get without smoking, because like I said, smoking's harmful, bro, and I don't have nothing against it if you're doing it in moderation, but I know most of the people out there are not doing it in moderation. So if you're going to do it, man, I recommend you make some edibles. It's super easy, okay? All you got to do is get yourself some butter. All you got to do is get yourself some hash, bro, and you let that butter and the hash sit in that bowl, bro, and then you add your brownies mixture to it and you bake it, bro. And I'm telling you, man, the best times that you will ever have, bro. Try making yourself some edibles and watch. Appreciate you, Dale, bro. Appreciate you, my man. Steven says, I think wet dreams are avoidable, but you need to be very aware of the thing you consume, food and eyes. Yes. And I heard you say something, Steven, in one of your last streams that I was in on. You said something about, consuming too much liquids. And I want to explain this really quick. Okay. There's certain things called morning wood, and there's certain things called bladder wood. Okay. There's a big difference. There's morning wood and there's bladder wood. So I want you to understand that it's a big culprit if you're out there having problems on your SR journey with having wet dreams, because this is a huge culprit, bro. Huge. You got to make sure, because on retention, I want you to drink tons of water. This is the only downfall about possibly having wet dreams. You have to drink a lot of water on retention, bro. Unless you're getting the very best fruits, eating cucumbers, watermelons, unless you're doing something like that every day where you don't need to take in so much water, bro, you're going to have to drink a lot of water on retention. Okay. I'm just telling you, it's one of the best things that you could do for your health, man. It's going to keep you flushed out of any toxins. But what I noticed is when I did have wet dreams, and I'm far from wet dreams. I can't remember the last time I've had one, bro. I'm far from wet dreams. I got over that in the first year. But I noticed when I was drinking so much water, I would wake up what I like to call not morning wood, but bladder wood. Okay, there's a big difference. You guys know what I'm talking about, especially you men out there. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, we wake up with morning wood plenty of times, yes. But sometimes when you are consuming too much fluids, you wake up with this thing called what? Bladder wood. And there's a big difference. What is the difference is? The difference is when you get up in the morning with bladder wood and you go pee, it shrinks like a damn water weenie with no water in it, right? That's what it does. So understand, when you have bladder wood and you don't get up and go to the bathroom because your body will wake you up before you have a wet dream. It does all the time. Don't try to tell me it doesn't. It'll wake you up because that's your bladder talking to you. And if you ignore it and you turn over and you lay on your stomach, dun, 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 you're going to have a wet dream, bro. Okay. It's happened to me a handful of times that I ignored having a full bladder. So make sure if you're drinking water, okay, lots of water, to understand to get up when your body is warning you, because it's going to warn you. Okay. I know you're going to feel tired and you don't want to get up and you're comfortable, but you better get your ass up, because like I said, all it's going to take, you're going to be rock hard, bro. All it's going to take is for you to, your underwear to rub your genie in the bottle wrong, bro, and you're going to splat all over yourself. Trust me. So just make sure that if you're drinking water, man, to obey your body when it's time for you to get up and release it. Yes. Yes. I love it, bro. Yes, I love it, bro. This is why I quit. This is why I quit. This is exactly why I quit. I quit because the green stuff blocks your dreams. You get downloads from your spirits, foresight, in your dreams from the Most High. Bro, you hit it right on the head, and that's why I quit. I was going there. Man, it was like 2 years, bro, where I couldn't remember my dreams. I would dream, but I couldn't remember them. And, I started to feel like I was missing out on something, man. Like I said, it got to a point where I was doing it so much that I just said I needed a change, man. I was just doing it too much. And plus I had a lot of motivation. I had a lot of bad things that happened in my life, a lot of sad situations. And every time I have something bad in my life, I transmute energy. This is one of the things that I pride myself in, is I transmute negative energy. I always will do and find something good to do when I've had bad things happen to me. And when I went through that whole thing with my family and all that, and my little ones, bro, I quit. And I noticed that when I quit, bro, oh my God, you want to talk about the craziest dreams. Even now, I'm been free for a very long time. And even now, bro, I still wouldn't go back. It would take me having to win a lotto, or me, celebrating, something major event for me to go back to puffing on a joint or something, okay? Because of the things that I have seen since I've been off of it. And the number one thing that I've been learning that since I've got off of it is my dreams have become super surreal and crazy, bro. Oh my God, bro. And I'm telling you, if you're a person out there that's smoking right now, you have no idea what you're missing out on. I'm telling you, it's worth quitting. Listen, this is why I'm trying to tell you to eat it. It's worth quitting, bro, because when you smoke it, bro, your dreams are baked. You're done for, bro. There's no way you're going to remember your dreams. There's no way you're going to get no good dreams. You will not. I'm telling you, keep being hard-headed. Keep thinking that you're above this. You're not. The minute you stop, bro, holy crap. You want to talk about all those dreams that you've been missing out for many years in your life? The most amazing dreams, bro. I'm talking about vivid ass dreams. I'm talking about dreams that are so real. Get off of smoking and see what happens. Okay. I am telling you the truth. And this is one of the reasons why I have not even tried to go back to it. Okay. And if I do go back to it, like I said, I'm just going to go make some edibles. Okay. I'm going to do it a completely different way. And I'm going to, in hopes that I'll still be able to keep my vivid dreams, because I'm telling you, man, it's not worth it to the point where you don't remember what you're dreaming about. Some of these dreams are some of the, like you said, gifts from the Most High, showing you things that are about to transpire. You're able to go visit people in your dreams, maybe people that you loved. Man, there's so many vivid dreams that I done had, that I done astral project into realities with people that I used to have relationships with. Listen, I would never give this back up, bro, for going back to smoke. It is not even worth it, man. I've gotten so much pleasure and so much fun out of remembering my dreams, bro. And I could wake up and I could tell you exactly what my dreams were, and they are so real. And I know that I was able to connect with people astrally that has been in my relationships in the past, friends, family members, and I could guarantee that they had the exact same dream about me, because the dreams are real. And the only way that you're going to be able to tap in and hone in on the realness of that, bro, is to not pollute your brain. There's something goes on. I believe it's the delta, that's produced from the weed that blocks the dreams. So, it's a reason why they gave it to us, because they don't want us dreaming. Dreams, like you said, you can get some serious downloads from dreams. So if you're out there, man, and you're smoking still, man, trust me, man, stop for a little bit, man, and watch how your dreams come back. And listen, it doesn't take very long. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, within the first week that I got up off of it, bro, my dreams came back like they never left. All right. So that's what I would recommend you to do. And if you really want to take your dreams to another level, here's something that I would tell you to do. Okay. There's a plant out there. Let me grab this real quick. All right, sorry about that, guys. My mic fell over. Okay, so what do I got right here, man? I got some lotus flower. And this is what I would recommend you guys do. I'll put it in the comment section for you guys to check out. But check out the lotus flower. The lotus flower is something that I've been taking a lot lately, and my dreams have been hella crazy, bro. I'm talking about hella crazy. If you want to have some really crazy, vivid dreams, get yourself some blue lotus flower. Okay. I am not kidding with you guys, man. I don't know what this does, but it's some kind of psychoactive type of plant, man. And you have some crazy dreams. Okay. And all you got to do, you can smoke it if you want to. You can make some tea if you want to, or you can eat the edible leaves if you want to. Either way, you're going to get the results from these dreams. So this is what I would recommend you guys to look up. Look up blue lotus flower if you want to have some super intense dreams. All right, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody that came up in here, man. Thank you guys, man, for coming in and making this stream way better. You changed the vibration of this stream. It was going negative there for a while, bro. And, like I said, I'm super sorry about what happened earlier with our man Jim. And I'm hoping that, he sees what he did, man, and maybe he'll be apologetic. Maybe he'll come back and apologize to us. But I doubt he will because there's a lot of ego probably still there. I doubt he'll pop in on another live stream and, say, hey guys, I'm sorry about this and that and, all this stuff, man. Listen, man. I'm sorry you guys had to experience that again one more time, man. But again, I appreciate everybody that came up in here and we changed the trajectory of this stream and we begin to make it positive. We start talking about the things that matter. So you guys have a good rest of the day. I will talk to all you guys on the next one. I love you guys, man. You guys stay safe out there. Peace, fellas.
You are now listening to the Shaved Lion King Radio, the realest retainer in the game. You are now listening to the Shaved Lion King Radio, the realest retainer in the game.
Activate the Shaved Lion King.
You are now listening to B-Town Beats. B-Town Beats.
You are now listening to TSLK.
This day, to this day, to this day. Nigga, please. Bruce Leroy.